Yes, get in there, man. Get in there. Welcome to the Top 4 podcast. Yes, we are 3 minutes late. It's 3 minutes of added time, if you will. I am Peter, an Arsenal fan. I'm joined by AD, a Liverpool fan.
Bro, it's been like 5 years. Van Dijk has been at Liverpool approaching 5 years, undefeated at Anfield. When Haaland and his boys shake up.
Oh, mate. Oh, mate.
Man, it's done, man. It's
said
done.
the streak is over. Yeah, is that what we're saying? The streak is over,
bro.
Hey.
It's unbelievable scenes, Jeff. I'm joined by Robin, a Manchester United fan.
For the 700th time in this life, though once again the whole world can goose. Nah, man, that's huge stuff for him. But there's howlers this week.
Oh,
I'm gonna talk about it.
There are some howlers, definitely. I'm joined by Generous Dave, an Arsenal fan.
Hey, we can start off with the guy in the top left corner, bro.
Guys, technical difficulties. You know them ones.
Hey, guys. I'm just saying, for the people in the podcast, the comments right now, I'm just saying it. Peter is not that guy.
Wow.
Wow. He is not that guy. He's not that guy.
Bro, Listen, as Assad has just said here, at least I pronounced his name right. Top 4 podcast late. This isn't something I'm used to. Listen, when you win 3-2 against Liverpool and you're top of the league, sometimes you can get a bit, you know what I mean? You're a bit carried away, yeah.
What's going on the bottom left, bruv?
Bruv, it's all on.
It's all kicking off. Big up everybody that's watching right now. Shout out to Taha. Big up them who says big up the man them. Yeah, make sure you guys smash a like on this video. Let's get this video traveling. Thank you for our regular people on the business. Baraka, you done know. Big up you good peeps. Big up yourself, Baraka. Taha says, where's Oscar? Listen, he's living it up in Milan. Obviously, the Chelsea are in Milan on Tuesday night. And so he's been living La Vida Loca ever since Sunday. So yeah, he's up there. Assad says, big up the Gunners for that win. They have earned my respect. Seeing Liverpool in the mud is a sight to behold. Wow, yeah. Tenzin says, big up the panel. Boss like Endo in good form. I said, right, I can see my reflection of Peter's head. You don't know the shine. You know what I'm saying? The gliss. But guys, let's kick things off where we can only kick things off, right? Arsenal 3, Liverpool 2. This is what we are talking about. David, I want to get your reaction to the lovely 3 points that we got on the weekend, beating the Scouse. 3-2 winners. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, we can't play like this the whole season, bro.
3 minutes late, I know. It's 3 minutes added time. That's what I would say. It's added time.
Like I'm happy with the result, but I'm consistently seeing the same issue all over again. Like we scored early
on a day like this.
No. This is bro. Adrian, you know me. I come with balance, bruv. I don't just.
No, I hear David. I hear David.
Still. I don't just run off like.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah. Bro, we scored the first goal, no problem. Early, bang, let's go for the second. Kill him off, blood. But Wagwan, we let you man back in the game.
Can't believe you let him score. You still let him score. How? Why?
And all of a mistake, and it's one of them ones that like, look, great result. Obviously, they pegged us back twice. We get the pen, fine, cool. But the issue is Gabriel, bruv, this guy. Hey, what are we gonna do about Gabby Peter, bro?
Okay, I think you're being harsh on Gabriel.
No, this is 2 weeks in a row now.
No, do you know what it is? I was actually with you with Gabriel, and I think with some other people that have mentioned Gabriel you know, because of his erraticness, because of the fact that we do get the good and the bad with him. I remind you, he's 24 years of age. I remind you, when he joined the club, he was 22 years of age in what was an Arsenal side that could only be described as a shower of absolute garbage, and he was learning how to defend in the Premier League with that team. So I think, you know, I think, yes, Gabriel has his moments, he has his mistakes, and they will be there. They will be, you know, they'll be there for all to see. But at the same time, I do think a bit of balance with the fact that he is still young and he's learning his game, and I think he's going to be electric getting older.
How old is Saliba?
Again, but you see, Saliba. Here's the thing. Here's the truth of the matter, David.
He's an anomaly.
How old is he?
No.
How old is he?
21.
How old is he?
He's 21.
He's 21. Yes, he and don't get it twisted. You know, Saliba at this moment in time is better than Gabriel, right? But all it takes is for Saliba to have that dip in form. By the way, Saliba on 2 occasions, like we've remember the conceded own goal against Leicester City. And then again, the almost conceded own goal against Liverpool, right? He was culpable a few times of a few mistakes. I remember even his debut for Arsenal in a friendly, albeit, but I think it was against MK Dons, and he did look a bit shaky. He didn't look like he was up for it. It's not to say he's not good enough. He's definitely top notch, and we're loving the vibe. But I remember we had this same feeling with Gabriel. We were feeling the vibes when Gabriel first walked in, and the fact that he come off the French league winning a title with Lille, you know, we were waxing lyrical about him. So I just think, like, look, he's not as good as people claim to be, and he's not as bad as people claim to be. He is right there. He's a brilliant defender, and he's going to get better and better over time. Those things will come out of his game. I'm actually confident in him. He's 24, Gabriel. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's still time. Defenders are not necessarily at their best until 28, 9, 30, because it's a mature position. It's a mature position. It's not for the young. And yeah, at this rate, he's still he still gets emotional. He still gets around. But I like that about him. I like that side to him. Now, I like that he's a bit edgy.
Now, to add balance to your point, I've just seen the second goal because I was at work. Then I left. Yeah. I didn't see the second up. Saliba was in the wrong position for that second goal. Let me just add some balance to that. Yeah. But
that's what you're gonna get with these youngers. These youngers are gonna be left and right. They're gonna be back and forth. They're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a day when we laud them, and we're gonna have a day when we'll be like, Yeah, but I think we should keep the balance the same, if that makes sense.
No. This is what I'm saying. We're playing well, no problem. I'm not trying to minimize the result, yeah. But fam, we need to get that one out the game, bro. Them little stupid mistakes that would cost us later on. Hey, listen, we need to cut it out ASAP.
Yeah. We need to cut out the mistakes for sure.
That's all I'm saying. That is my only issue. Brilliant result, great mentality, resolve to keep going. But yeah, just need to cut out those stupid mistakes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Because
at the business end, and next year the fixtures are gonna come like this, bro. After the World Cup, they're gonna come. You can't be like that result, and like them mistakes against Brighton, we get punished. I don't know, whichever random team, Newcastle or whatever. Yeah,
Where are you in the moment? Like, were you surprised by the win? Were you what's your feeling about this Arsenal side? If you were to make a judgment on them at the moment, what's the words you would use to describe them?
As I said, we start off well. It's just that business of we get the goal and then we sort of retreat back and let the opposite. That's my only issue with the dominate the game, but don't give them sniffs. Like, we leave the door ajar. We don't shut it.
You know what? I hear what you're saying, but I completely disagree with you, bro. Like, you're playing Liverpool Football Club, like, albeit slap bang out form, albeit devoid of confidence, but still a world-class football side. You're not going to dominate them for 90 minutes. So every time, Arsenal went ahead 3 times in that game. Every time Liverpool came back, Arsenal found that extra 10% to go and hit us again with the sucker punch. So I'm looking at it and I'm saying to it, hang on a minute. Previous Arsenal sides, Liverpool come back, the game's 1-1. Previous Arsenal sides will go into their shell and crumble. Arsenal got stronger and stronger and stronger. And by the time we got to like 80, sort of like 80 minutes, you lot were just managing the game. Like we couldn't get a sniff. Ramsdale was calm. So for me, how I look at the game, so you saying kill the game. In my opinion, you're not going to kill your Liverpools and your Cities. You're not going to dominate them. What you can do, if they do get their sniffs because they're quality teams, and if they do score against you, what's your response going to be? And Arsenal's response was phenomenal. It was A1.
But Adrian, we do. It's not even just against the bigger teams. We do it against the small teams as well.
Fine. Okay.
So I'm not looking at it like this particular
But
game.
then my rebuttal would be you've won 8 games out of 9.
I'm saying we're getting away with it, but it can't continue.
Fair enough.
That's my only over the season. Hey,
David has always been about balance. He's always looked at both sides of the coin because, especially Arsenal fans. I mean, the case may be the same for other fans as well. But when we get on something, when we're on a high, man, we are winning the league. We are unbeaten. We are doing the most. When we lose, same goes the other way. When we lose, we're getting relegated.
This guy should get. Yeah, this guy should be going.
You know, we will be in the Vanarama. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's. I think Adrian probably sees an Arsenal fan like David and thinks, wait a minute, praise, bruv. It should be all praise. You know what I'm saying? You beat Liverpool, you beat a big team. Liverpool, you know, AD made some points about the kind of game we won on the weekend. It's a huge win. My God, it was a huge win. But yes, it doesn't mean there's nothing to improve. We still conceded 2 goals against a team who is devoid of confidence, who's shot to pieces at the minute. But Liverpool have the quality, Liverpool have that quality. And it's funny that we conceded 2 goals because I think Fulham, we had those mistakes. I think against Leicester, we had those mistakes. And there was another game I think we had, it was sketchy at times, but Liverpool will punish you. A team of that quality does the dirt. And it doesn't matter if it's Darwin Nunez, if it's Fabinho, it doesn't matter who it is. They can do some serious damage. So, you know, it's a fantastic win, and you know, I'm going to run out of superlatives because I think the performance was absolutely outstanding. I thought Arsenal were, as per usual, red hot off the bat. We woke up, we knocked on Liverpool's door, and I remember thinking going into the game, we need to score early against Liverpool because Liverpool starts slow this season, and Arsenal have usually been quick. And if we get a goal early, then it's like, okay, now we put Liverpool on the back burner. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold met Martinelli.
We'll get on to Liverpool in a second.
Yeah,
I want to discuss Arsenal.
Quick update at Nottingham Forest. Gerrard in the mud, 1-0 to Nottingham Forest.
Oh, where's the game?
Nottingham Forest. What is it?
It's at City Ground.
Yeah, because
okay, fair enough. I thought it was at Villa.
Martin's having a stinker.
Wow. Okay, so Villa are goal down.
I thought Arsenal controlled this game very well up until the 60th minute. And the reason I say that because once you got the 2-1, it became 2-2. I thought you guys were getting a little bit nervy and you were getting a little bit tired as well. So I don't know if this is this thing because the last 9/10 games you've just been at it. It'd be a bit of tiredness. Also traveling around Europe. But I thought majority, you control this game really well. And I think this was the game where number 1 is such a big win. And number 2, we can take Arsenal seriously from this point. Like they're saying, okay, they're actually putting on the front, not only for the top 4, but pushing for the second, maybe first position. I don't think you get the first position, but you're actually there pushing for it and fighting for it. And it's something I could say, okay, Arsenal are here. Arsenal are about. They're not. It's not a good period. It's not a good factor moment. They're beating the small teams and they're beating the big teams, especially the second best team in England as well. So it's just all props to them. And your goals were sublime, albeit very, very, very questionable defending. But your goals are just sublime. So no, for sure. I think the football was brilliant. The goals were really good. Yes, we can always look at the defending as well. Sorry to bring him up again, but Trent had an absolute nightmare.
A lot of the
He had
players
a
did.
nightmare.
A lot of the players did.
Him
But the fact that
and Virgil van Dijk
I
having
used-
nightmares that whole game.
Yeah, I used to see Trent at right back, and then I started seeing him play the sweeper role, and I thought, okay, something is going on here,
Bro.
because he didn't want none of it anymore. He didn't want none of it anymore.
Do you know what it is, yeah?
Well done to
What's
Martinelli on that, by the way, because he was phenomenal. And,
what has happened? I know not to take away from Arsenal. I think, why is Fabinho not playing in this team?
Have you seen him this season?
Have you seen him this season?
Yeah. Liverpool fans will tell you that he's not been Fabinho that we know.
David, you know that picture of the four Brazilians?
Yeah,
There's Gabby Jesus, Gabriel, Alisson, Firmino. Do you know why Fabinho's not there?
Why?
Because he was 3 minutes late. Like, it's been 3 minutes late to every duel he's had this season. He has been awful. He's been god awful this season.
See, and I think that's a huge problem, because Trent is shot. Like, his confidence is gone. Like, defending, he's done now. So you've got that huge gap over there that every team is just going to exploit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. At times, yeah, and you're spot on, because there was a run Xhaka was making through the left all the time. I've got like, don't get me wrong, like Trent was awful. I'm not gonna sit and defend him. Like, yeah, he was awful. But I'm thinking to myself, where's your right winger? Where's your right central midfielder? If you look at the first goal, there's a freeze frame of the first goal. There are 4. Trent is tucked in because the ball's open on the left hand side. He's tucked in. There's 4 Arsenal players making a beeline.
Yeah, because he doesn't want it outside, because he knows if he goes on his own, he's paced.
No. Yeah. Therefore, but my point is, he's not getting no cover as well.
Obviously,
I don't know what
more Salah,
is doing. Yeah,
bro.
I think that's.
I didn't know. I swear to you, man. When I got in my ear that Salah's coming off, I was confused because I didn't know he was playing, and I mean that in all genuine. Like he was. I did not see this man. There was a few times he might have winged a few passes, but my God, we didn't see him. Let me get through these comments because the gang have been commenting and commenting.
Whoa! Yes, please. There's a couple comments I've seen as well.
Yeah. So Lola says hello, hello boys. She's definitely happy after the Arsenal winning 3-2. Big up top 4 from David. You don't know. Lola says the scoreline flattered Liverpool, and I understand what she's saying. I do agree. I agree, but like top quality teams. Yeah, I don't know how to word this, but because I agree with her, but like there's a part of me that's like,
we gave them chances. They had chances. They created chances. So
when you're a big team, blood, like you don't have to look good to have 2-3 goals in the back of the net type of thing. Does that make sense? The scoreline does flatter them, but it also showed me that in Liverpool's down moments, the quality is still there. You know what I'm saying? Because Firmino's finished, Darwin's finished. Listen, the goals were good from Liverpool, by the way. Yes, you can critique Arsenal's defending. How, where's Saliba in the second goal? Or even Ben White for that matter. Because Firmino scores with his left foot from far, and the ball goes across Ramsdale and he hasn't saved it. I'm looking at the goalie, I'm thinking, hang on, really? It's an exquisite finish at the same time, Darwin Núñez. I remember who sends the ball? Is it Diaz?
Yeah, Diaz, yeah.
As soon as the ball went to Diaz, I literally looked at it and I thought,
City ground. Hey, listen, City ground. Villa have equalised.
What's going on, David? What's happening at the City ground?
Villa's equalised. I don't know who.
Yeah, it was actually young. That was like a minute or two ago.
Henderson is sipping on that bottle hard.
Ashley Young is at Villa. Why did I not know this?
This is like his second season.
Of course it is. Yes, of course.
You remember?
He's been there for a hot minute.
Yeah. I remember we were giving him abuse at Villa Park.
He retired on that day.
How can I forget?
I think even Gary Neville against Thomas.
Henderson.
SW6 London says big up top 4. Hey, listen. 100%. Big up yourself. Don't talk about Gabriel if you're not going to speak on Saliba. Yes, and I think we did touch on Saliba as well. On that was to the comment earlier when we were discussing Mr. Gabriel Magalhaes. Tenzin says Liverpool bossed the first half apart from the first 5 minutes and the last 1 minute. Second half, not sure what happened to Liverpool midfield. I don't.
Hashtag number 14.
Hashtag number 14 for sure. But I don't agree with this comment. Do you agree that they bossed the first half besides the 5-6 minutes, 5 minutes early and then the end?
I can agree with that.
That's interesting. You think Liverpool bossed?
We let them have the ball.
I'm not sure. I thought we were.
Obviously, we had our moments, but there was a good 20 minutes where we let Liverpool have the ball and they were coming at us.
Would you say it was as much as 20? Because I would have said 5-10 minutes maybe, but because I was watching a Liverpool side that wasn't intimidating as they normally are, and I was watching an Arsenal side where there was, by the way, there was so many breaks and stoppages in play. It was really affecting the game.
What's his name?
And
Oliver.
The refereeing. The thing is, as well, it's not even like the bad decisions, because every referee makes bad decisions. I've just come to the conclusion Premier League referees are awful. They will always make bad decisions. But the management of the game, he wasn't managing the game. And it made me realize what referees, like the referees who let games flow and let games carry on, that's an unappreciated skill. I don't know what the word is, whatever the term is. Because I was watching a man who just had no control of this game. And it was just like, come on, Oliver, sort this. And it's the fact that there was an arrogance to him as well. The way he was refereeing the game, there was a bit of arrogance. He's come off the cloth of Mike Dean, if you will. So there's a bit of arrogance to it, and he's not managing the game. And I'm thinking, come on, Mike, Mike Oliver, sort yourself out. Okay, interesting take though about Liverpool's first half performance, because to be fair, fair play on that comment. Mirad says, champions elect doing what champions elect does. Hey, steady, my friend. Huh? Steady, my friend. Assad says, Martinelli heard what I said last week and said, nah, I'm not having it. Yeah, people were coming for Martinelli's neck last week. I couldn't believe it. One thing about Gabriel, he doesn't hide ever. You can't teach that. Yeah, Gabriel's always in. He's always there. He's always in for.
Hey, Peter, what did you see his dummy?
Oh, did I? His dummy was hilarious.
He's alone to himself.
No, he is. That's the thing with him. Assad says Gabriel's the most overrated centre back in the Prem. Brazilian Tyrone Mings. Okay, Assad, we have to have a conversation here because he is by far not the most overrated centre half in the Prem. Have you seen what Premier League centre halves are rated? First and foremost, never mind overrated. Gabriel is amongst the good crop. He's up there. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the, I would even say, I got to be careful here, but I think he's top 10 in the Premier League. Centre back.
Hey, you know, every team plays with two, right?
I hear that.
Okay.
Top 10. Is that outrageous?
It's debatable. That's what it is.
If two teams, let's say two teams at minimum play two centre halves. There's 20 teams. That's 40 players, and I'm saying he's top 10.
Oh, when you put it like that, it's not. No, but it's not 40 though, because Liverpool have about 3.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm saying with the minimum of just 2.
Okay.
But yeah, 3 exactly. Tyrone, come on.
It's debatable. It's debatable.
It's debatable. You can argue it.
Let's name them.
You can argue it.
Let's name them. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say you get Van Dijk, Diaz out of here. You get Laporte out of here.
Matip.
You get Matip out of here. You know what I'm saying? We're starting to slim pickings now. It's starting to get slim. And look, we're only done 4. If you're saying Saliba's top 5, do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure we're missing out some bait ones out.
But then you got your man like your Lewis Dunks and your Websters, your
Codys. Yeah.
You can argue it.
You could always argue it. Anyway, Lola said, Martinelli, who was it that was trying to come for him? My boy last pod. You know what I'm saying? Know the player before you chat. 1,000%. Listen, Martinelli, by the way, underrated performances this season. He's been phenomenal this year. I know it's only been 8 games, 9 games, whatever, but he's been absolutely phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? I think he's been brilliant. And only Arsenal fans will really truly know and see exactly what's happening. Luis Diaz out till after the World Cup. We're mudded. AD, talk a little bit here on Liverpool. Where are you at the moment? What you were at the Emirates. You watched it live. Where's your head at?
Bro, mine's all over the place.
I want to hear after last week when he was coming with the Trent talk. I want to hear Wagwan now, because
My
boy,
stance
he
is the same,
because
bro.
right now, do you know what's crazy? What's crazy? Southgate's looking like he made a point with the whole thing, and it's just like, what is going on with Trent? What is going on with Trent?
And you know what? And then a footballer he actually used to play for Liverpool, Ryan McLaughlin. He said the same thing I said last week. He's in awful, diabolical form. This is the worst we've ever seen him. He's not attacking very well either, and he's defending even worse. Let's not act like he hasn't been good for the past 5 years. He was good. That's my stance is still the same,
The
bro.
point still remains, doesn't it? Yeah, the point just still remains.
So should he be starting games now
For Liverpool,
going forward? Yeah.
in the ideal world, we'll play Gomez until he sorts his act out.
I think this is another Gareth Bale thing.
He ain't explosive. Listen, but guys, you see Alexander Arnold. If he doesn't crack the mustard at right back, let me tell you this now: his options are limited. This whole right CM fantasy, like he has to be even better at right CM than he's at right back. Like his home and his future is right back for Liverpool. He's not quick enough or explosive enough to be a winger. He ain't got the legs to be a right wing back. Bro, honestly, like where he is now is the best place for him.
So you don't think he could convert himself into a position that allows him to defend less? I.e., like Xhaka's positioning on the weekend, right? I felt like, as you're talking about that run he kept making, which was so clear and obvious, and he kept having a highway to run into. A part of me is thinking, what about that kind of number 8 player, but on the right side? And, surely he could be dangerous in that area, no? Because it doesn't require defending necessarily.
Yeah, maybe as an advice. But then my thing is he sees less of the pitch, because a big thing about his game is the fact that he can literally boss the game from right back.
Absolutely. No, that's a very good point, actually. Yes, it is a very good point.
Hey, then, bruv, he needs to get on that training pitch and start defending, bro.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. That's his solution.
Oh, am I?
But overall, like where are you with Liverpool? What's the problem, and how do they fix it?
Good, bro. Listen, I kid you not. I've even taken my seat yet. I'm walking down the stairs. I'm like to some woman, "Yo, do you know what Block 5 is?" I've even sat down. Bang! Oh, holy! So do you know what? I think a big part of Liverpool, like the legs are just gone. Like physically, because a big thing about Liverpool was we outran everybody. Like as a bare minimum, what Liverpool will do will outrun you. We're quicker than you, we're stronger than you, or if we weren't necessarily quicker or stronger than you on the day, you will never ever match our hunger, bro. Like I saw, and I think people were talking about the mental growth of Arsenal. Have you seen the physical growth of that back four?
Oh God, look at the size of them.
That's a Ben White, 6'2" at right back. Saliba's a freak. Gabriel's a big boy. And then you had freaking Tomiyasu at left back.
And then Ramsdale's not the shortest, knife in the drawer.
It's
You know what I mean?
Like of the bunch, and he's tall himself. You know what I mean?
And then in front of that, you've got Xhaka and Partey. I mean, let me just say this: I'm praying to the Lord Himself. Xhaka and Partey need to stay fit all season long.
But that's the thing they want.
In order to stay in order to be in the top 4 this year, we need those two all season long. And
then you know what? Your front three ain't the biggest, but guess what? They throw their weight about as well.
They throw their weight about. Gabriel Martinelli's defending, for crying out loud. A ball is lost by him. He's not letting that Salah rest. No one is resting over there. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. No, carry on, AD.
Yeah, so I think for starters, as a pure basic, we're running less. Simple as that. I think we're running less. Yeah. This Mo Salah conversion into Jermaine Pennant, like the streets are calling him Pyramid Pennant, where man's getting Mo Salah's getting chalk on his boots. I'm sorry, I need that nasty SOB in the box.
He is on the
I saw him
wing,
trying to kick the ball down the line against Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu just put him in his pocket.
man.
So I think it's things like that. Look, I think Darwin Núñez has got all the makings of being a good striker. He does, but for me, like the fit don't make sense. The fit just doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah.
Like those times where he was making fantastic runs, nobody's punching it into him. And then I think with his role as well, like a big thing and a big reason as to why I always used to make the line. I was proven wrong in the end, but I always used to say things like, I'm not swapping Firmino for anyone else in the world, is because you saw how his game used to facilitate Mane, used to facilitate Salah. And now it's almost like, now we haven't got a facilitator. Now we're trying to fix Núñez whilst trying to pacify Mane, and whilst Diaz is just got his head down doing stepovers. So I think it's the best. Look, Jordan Henderson, he's been bad for a while now, and it's detrimental. You saw like Thiago was literally next to him. Thiago was fighting 3 men alone. And he was doing a pretty damn good job. And you just look at Jordan Henderson, it's like there's times where he's hoofing the ball, or there's times where Thiago's passing it into him, is going behind him, is going through his legs, or there's times where he's just not got the legs anymore to go over to the right hand side and cover. So, bro, and ultimately, do you know what? You know how I said Spurs, I think they missed the window under Pochettino, and I said Leicester missed the window under Rodgers. Unfortunately, Liverpool missed the window under Jurgen Klopp. This should have been a dynasty, and it could have been a dynasty. This is a side. Look, we've got north of 92 points, 3 of the last 5 seasons.
Yeah.
In that time, we've been to 2 Champions League finals. We should be looking at this era as a glory time. And bro, I said it last season, like nothing this season will hurt me because I missed out on a quadruple by a point in the game. We're never going to see that again, clearly. and if I'm feeling like that as a human being, as a pundit that just watches on the TV, imagine these guys on the training pitch.
Yeah, how do you kick on again for another season?
Again? What, you want me to run again? And then the elephant in the room, that midfield should have been rejuvenated. It should have. Yeah. I've been saying it for the past 2 years at least. How long has it actually been the case? Like, it's like we knew it as well because we went for Tchouaméni. He went to Real Madrid fine, and then we just left it.
And just said, all right, we'll crack on.
We'll just crack on.
Honestly, and that's where, my one thing on Liverpool purely have been like this.
They didn't crack on. They got off Melo, and then now we're hearing he's injured until January.
In other words, crack on, because Arthur Melo added nothing to that squad. It's a bit like what was his name? Saul at Chelsea.
Dennis Suarez. We've seen it all before.
Dennis Suarez. We've seen it.
Kim Kallstrom. Is that making sense?
Even Kim Kallstrom scored a penalty to get us in an FA Cup final.
At least he has some goal.
At least. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the midfield, what I always say about Liverpool is this: the board have let Klopp down. They've let the fans down. They've let the club down. They've let the players down. They've let, Jurgen down. The board should, don't get it twisted. They did spend a truckload of money on Núñez, but, AD said that they've had north of 90 points, 3 out of 5. And what do they have to show for it? And then you don't go and it's not even like, they've been spilling the bank to get this close. They've barely scratched coins. Yes, you might say the Alisson and the Van Dijks, but how many years am I going back now to talk about that? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like the board have let them down. And it's funny that Liverpool fans of all fan bases haven't been on their neck, because when Liverpool get on the board's neck, the board always shakes. They always do. So yeah, unbelievable.
But because it's hard because if you're getting 97 points, you can't be having protests week in, week out to ultimately it needs to get bad for it to get good. Does that make sense?
I know what you're saying, but it's because it's circumstances, horses for causes. You're playing against Man City. You're not fighting for the league against like the Man United days or the Chelsea days or whatever it might be, where 90 points guaranteed you the title. You're fighting against a team that gets 100 points in a league season. You know what I'm saying? They've got 100 points. They've had 32 wins in a Premier League season. They've got a player who's got 15 Premier League goals and 20 goals in all competitions in October. Last season's top goal scorer scored 23 goals. Cristiano Ronaldo was the third top goal scorer in the league. He scored 18 goals. Haaland is 3 goals behind him
in the season.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I tell you what, like, man, David Goliath, and they're still giving him a slingshot to fight with.
And bro, do you know what's happened? The sling broke.
Say again, the what?
The sling. We ain't got no sling.
Oh, the sling bust.
We can't throw rocks at him no more.
Goliath's looking at
They've
Goliath
got golden plated armor.
And here's the thing: golden plated armor, and then they bought platinum armor over the summer.
And then a freaking laser on top of it.
And then a laser on top. It's a joke. It's a farce.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. But
what you have to understand is Man City made profit in the window. Man City made profit in the window this summer. Let that sink in. We're talking about the players he brought in. They got rid of Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, and I'm probably forgetting others. There you are. Let's get through the comments. There's been truckloads of comments. Guys, thank you so much for commenting on this channel. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, or if you're new. Lola says, we ain't getting away with it, in my opinion. We've deserved to win every game we've played, even the United game. I agree we deserve to win all of them.
Yeah, that's
and I would say we're not getting away with it. I'm just going to put up the SW because we like to put up every single comment. That was 1-0 to the Forest at the time. It's now 1-1. Bosslight Ender says, first half we were the better team and deservedly level with Nunez. Saka goal before halftime killed us.
I agree with that.
Yeah, shocking defending for that goal, but nonetheless, good finish as well. Good ball from Martinelli as well. Most important goal for Arsenal was 2-1. So, that's probably where the shake of play. The funny thing is, you go in 2-1 at halftime. You've got halftime to still try and change the game. Like Liverpool's come out again. And to be fair, they responded and scored twice. You know what I'm saying? So when they were down, they responded twice. So, I think it's difficult, man. It's so hard to judge this Liverpool side because we know what's wrong, we know what's right. So you kind of don't have an answer of what to do with Liverpool. Boss Endo says, my boy, talk on my boys, Bobby, please. Everyone said he was done out here. Now that's 6 goals and 3 assists in 7 league games. He has to be a regular starter now. Well, this is the confusion because Darwin scored as well. So where do we play these two? Why can't both play? I mean, both were playing when Bobby scored, but you had moments where I think Henderson was like almost on the right wing. Who
assisted the 2 goals for Liverpool?
Well, I think Diaz did one, and I think it was either Bobby or Darwin did the other.
Okay,
I can't remember what way around.
If that's the case, I agree with you. I think right now, even I would play Nunez over Salah because Nunez is actually contributing more to Liverpool than what Salah's doing right now. We have not seen this guy all season.
Well, there we are. Let me see here. Assad says, Thomas Partey in 2022 has been incredible. For me, he's been top 5 midfielders in the league. So integral to your team without a shadow of a doubt. You know what I'm saying? And when we signed him, we thought we were going to get this one from the jump. And we were getting bits of him. We weren't necessarily, you know what I'm saying? But man,
he likes the London life.
He's enjoying the London life. AD, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Believe me, it's by design. I don't want to say my thoughts.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Lola says, fully disagree with Robin. I'd say the first half was even. The second half was all Arsenal. Even the Liverpool second goal was out of nowhere. Yeah, I didn't think it was all Liverpool first half, for sure. I didn't think that at all. I was pretty comfortable at half time. Like, okay, we'll go in at half time 1-1.
No, I think she was saying because I said up until the 60th minute it was all Arsenal, and I just thought that you were just calming down a little bit.
But some people were saying that the Liverpool passed the first half as well, and I was like, oh, I didn't really think that, but I know what we're like at home. I think it's one of those ones. When you get used to a certain language of your team, you get used to a certain taste. There are some moments where somebody who doesn't watch Arsenal every week watches the game and thinks, "Well, Arsenal could have got caught out here," and then there's some people who watch Arsenal every week and they see this as the norm. Like, we're going to constantly be okay, even with this. Because I always thought we were going to be okay in this match. Once the game kicked off and Arsenal were in third gear, I said, okay, we're going to be fine. Like, as in, when I say fine, I mean I don't think we're going to lose, which was more my concern. Mirad says played 9 games, won 8, lost 1. Yeah, we're there. It's 9 games. Trent was must said Trent was gash even before the injury. I mean, the fact that they even masked that as an injury, bro, he ain't got no injury.
Huh?
Yeah.
Did you see Martinelli stamp on his ankle? Was it?
Listen,
He did the classic. I am playing bad. I'm gonna.
It should have even been a penalty. Did you see what number 5 did to Diaz?
Listen, when you got an African sitting on you, I know that's an injury for sure. That's why he's out for the World Cup. Absolutely.
Listen, poor Diaz, bless him. He tried to walk on the pitch. He crawled back onto the pitch. The Arsenal fans were booing him like he hasn't got a freaking ACL. Yeah.
He literally looked. Has he got an ACL? Is that confirmed now? He's done.
Yeah, he's out of the World Cup. He's out of the World Cup.
ACL, but it's his knee.
He's not back until 2023.
Oh, God, that's good. That's the case.
Diaz.
Lewis
Diaz.
Fabinho
That's been our best attacker all year. So I don't know what we're gonna do now. The only person that can dribble and beat a man.
No, do you know what though? I'll be honest with you, man.
It's not the same.
I'll be honest with you, AD. Bobby Firmino and Darwin Núñez, man. I'm positive about those 2 players this season. I've always been flying the flag for Darwin Núñez, even when I've been getting rinse FM'd. But I see a player there. I see a player there for sure.
No, bro. No. 1,000,000,000% there's a player that I think he's gonna be like a top class European forward in the mold of Edison Cavani. I just don't think
he's got that.
I just don't think he's the right fit, bro.
The fact that he's got that nastiness about him, like it's a confident thing, isn't it? It's a confidence thing with strikers. They need to be nasty. They need to be. Soft strikers do nothing in football.
I like him. I just don't think it's a good fit. I like him. He's a good player.
Fabinho has been majorly inconsistent this season, says Baraka. When we were talking about Fabinho earlier, Trent needs a transformation. Philip Larmstyle says Mirad. Whether AD and the Liverpool gang are buying it. AD, let's talk on your boy Salah, please. This man has been a shower of crap this whole calendar year.
To be fair, he's been dead since he signed his contract. But Enzo, come on, man. Don't be so short-sighted. Don't be Mr. What have you done for me lately? Mo Salah. When Firmino went on a holiday and Amani was seen a freaking doctor. Salah carried this club on his back to top 4. Let's not come on, man. Like he just like 5, 6, 7 of our players, rotten form. Come on, bro. Like this guy's carried us for the past 5 years. I'm going to sit here and crap on him because he's on bad form. I'm being consistent across the board. If I'm defending Trent and he's been awful, he's been defended like a slapper. I'm not going to sit here and crucify Salah, especially when he's been asked to do something that's not his game. Mo Salah is a nasty, ruthless, unscrupulous SOB. Give him touches in the box. Give him opportunity to put the ball in the net. What's he taking on 6'2" right backs for?
Yeah, for real. No, for real. Salah's just obviously again. And that's the thing with the Trent situation is that it's not just one player at Liverpool. There's a few of them that are going through that are off the boil.
What's going on at Liverpool?
Absolutely. Baraka says, why isn't the UK media questioning Trent's defensive ability or lack thereof? Can I just say a quick joke? I mean, it's a joke, but I've got some truth in it. He plays for Liverpool. Next, you guys can take the floor on this one.
Half the pundits are former teammates of him.
Hey. You know what I mean? They ain't saying nothing.
Carragher said he did a retreat. He needed to go to Hawaii or something.
These times, Gary Neville just said this man needs coaching. Don't go to Qatar and get coached. Straight up and down. He said it. SW6 said, "Man told me Mo Salah was the best player in the week. Remember,
in the world.
Oh, in the world. Sorry, in the world.
I thought Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane is the best player in the world.
He's the best player in the world. We know that though. Actually,
have you got fair comments, though?
Guys? I need to rattle through these comments.
I was going to say, while you're rattling through the comments, we need to speak about the inquest that is Jordan.
Yeah, afterwards. Let's get through these comments.
Yeah, needs to be mentioned.
Which I have something strange on it, but anyway, that game was played as expected, as it should, says Mirad. Endo says Thiago in that first half was majestic. He's a liquid footballer. Honestly, there were moments when he has the ball, he touched control and then flicks it, and I'm like, oh, that is lovely. Mirad says it was meant to be tough because despite how bad they've been, they are a team that are of good players, 1,000%. They've got top quality players at the end of the day. Tenzin says, what did I say last week? If Trent Alexander-Arnold plays, then Liverpool are in the mud. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Joe Gomez, again, was still getting a run for his money where he just had to start fouling Martinelli, like just blatantly just take him down.
Do you see what he done? He threw him into the second row of the North Bank, and then the referee said, "Play on."
Oh,
even I was outraged by that.
Oliver just did that. I sit there like, what's the matter with this person here? Get lost.
He's literally threw him into the Hoardings.
Baraka says Liverpool fans getting all pissy that Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't get minutes on y'all. NT. What's NT? National team. But drops performances like that. Let's be serious. Hey, good shout. Lola says, Tsimikas, he's decided to take up the mantle from Mane with smashing man in the face. Listen, I swear Darwin Núñez was playing left back and centre forward because I was like, who is this Don with the same hairstyle? And I was like, oh, it's Tsimikas. Okay. Oh, yeah, Tsimikas was wilding as well.
He's legitimately knocked out, though.
Bro, he literally, like when Jesus went down, I thought, oh, he's dead. I was like, what's going on here? Because the way he just fell, I was like, huh? Have I missed something? Did he get shot?
He gave him a clothesline from hell. Like he was legitimately knocked out. I reckon he was knocked out, and when he hit the ground, he woke up again.
Outrageous.
That was
Miss Melina says, hi, big up yourself. What's going on all the way from Canada, Toronto, baby? Tenzin says, I also blame Tsimikas' mistakes for coverage in the first goal. I'm so pissed with his ability, with his inability in getting the ball fast enough, resulting to multiple turnover of possession. Is that a fair comment, AD?
Yeah. He's not Andy Robertson. Yeah. Did those times he was just.
Oh, he was a big miss. I forgot he wasn't even there. It was a big miss.
I mean, yeah,
no?
but let's not lie. We're still defending the same anyway.
To be fair, and to be fair, Sacco did not have a lot to do bar the two situations. Like he has two great moments, and he does. He makes the game for Arsenal, right?
Tsimikas wasn't bad. It was just certain moments, like high quality would have prevailed.
High quality,
exactly. Even like it was offside in the end. Even done like an amazing goal line clearance as well.
And that's the thing. That's the thing as well. We're not comparing a normal team against a normal game. We're comparing about top quality players, world-class football teams, and the difference in class when you have a Robertson to a Tsimikas. Tsimikas is no slouch, but my God, he's worlds apart from Robertson. You understand what I'm saying? Mirad says, should we start considering Ben White as Saliba's centre-back partner with Tomiyasu holding the right-back position? Has Gabriel brought concern upon his name as a potential liability? No, not for me. Hey, David?
What? No, we can't have Ben White at centre back, bruv.
You're not having Ben White at centre back, yeah?
No.
Yeah, David hasn't converted yet.
Man, them Arsenal fans, if anything, I remember a time not long ago, I was like, where the hell is the good Arsenal defender?
Bro.
Now all of a sudden, you've got three options at left back. Bro, you know how Tomiyasu started? Like, it may have been an idea on Arteta's head, sure. Arteta saw this guy in the Europa League and he said, no, you know what? I can't ignore this. I need to have some plan for you.
Did you watch the Europa League game?
I didn't watch it.
Because he brought him, he started at left back. I was thinking, he brought him on at left back. I thought, that's a strange move. I thought, this is bold. What's going on here? I thought he's got an eye on Liverpool here. And I was like, wait, I'll go on for Zinni. And I thought, okay, let's see what happens to Zinchenko. Then 2-2s now. Not a foot wrong from Tomiyasu. But yeah, no, I don't think he's a liability. No. He's just learning his game. Yes, he will make mistakes, and that's part of it. And so too will Saliba, as he has done as well. But we're raving about him. We're loving him, aren't we? So we should love both. In fairness, AD did say chat to him about Trent after the game, after he played Martinelli. Salah and Trent need the bench. Maybe it will fire them up. I think that's a good shout, definitely. Mirad says this is Xhaka for Switzerland. Man said we're getting a Swiss Xhaka, bro. Finally, some I don't know what it is, man. Big up Mikel Arteta for that, because he's the one manager that's actually got some good performances out of this bloke. Do you know what I mean?
Bro,
And like
credit's due.
the fans are singing his name. Who would have thought that after
Bro.
what he did in 2020, in 2019?
Arsenal fans were getting pissed off that Arsenal rejected. Was it like 12 million from Hertha Berlin? Arsenal fans were like, just give him away. No good. Like,
Get
rub
shot.
their hands with him. Look at him now.
Man, it's a weird turnaround that. Endo says last season Liverpool beat Arsenal and Man United 17-0 combined. This season we've lost to both. We're also below the team we beat 9-0 Bournemouth. Rah, then.
Yeah, no. I was looking at the table earlier and I clocked that Bournemouth are currently what? Like 10th, 11th. And I was like, when did they climb up? When did they?
Unbelievable.
Well, we're below 10th.
That's a shock. Listen, AD, we're 14 points ahead of Liverpool. 14.
And honestly,
That's
Peter, at
outrageous.
this moment in time, I don't know if we can catch you or not. and I'm leaning more to no.
It's an outrageous gap. Let me whistle through these comments, because look, we've been on the Arsenal game for 50 minutes. Arsenal Liverpool 50 minutes. We need to move things on. Tenzin says,
Does Oscar read every comment?
yeah.
No.
Well, I think he does. Does he not? Oh, that's. I thought that's what makes our podcast different to all the other jabronis.
That's why people complain. They say, "Oh, you read my comment," because Oscar's not.
Yeah.
He knows.
Hey, listen, guys, you got me this week. Yeah, every comment's getting out. Liverpool. Tendon says Liverpool forget this season and play Carvalho and Elliott more to know whether they are ready for future. Forget top four and don't want to be in Europa. What? No European football for Liverpool next season?
That's ridiculous. We need top four. I hate the point, but it's like the season's not lost.
The season, guys. We've played 9 games.
The season's not lost.
There's 29 games.
But we are getting to that. We are getting to that 10-game point where we have to start assessing. We have to start assessing
30 points.
No, I'm not. No, I'm saying we usually have that 10 game. That's like, okay, what's going on? What's the state of play?
Listen, the league does not. I don't care about the league table.
It changes all the time. The league changes all the time.
It hits the new year, blood. Where am I on New Year's Day? That's when I ask that question. Then I start thinking,
bro, I care where I am on June the 1st. That's what I want about.
You man are clowns, I swear down. Endo says this squad needs an overhaul. Intensity is gone. Like Gnev said, we used to be heavy level. I think he means heavy metal.
Heavy metal, mate.
Yeah, heavy metal football. And now we're looking at bass guitar. Listen, the bass is mage. I heard that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, don't hit on the bass.
I would say don't hit on the bass. The bass is major. But I get his point. It's acoustic settings.
A man said Liverpool went from Kiss to John Lennon in one foul swoop.
Went from Kiss to what?
To John Lennon.
Oh. Hi-oh. Oh yeah, this was about the centre back partnership that the defenders that we had at the back to AD's point earlier. Massive blokes. Assad says, listen. I know, right? Assad says, listen, I'm a Chelsea fan. I have no right to like Arsenal, but low key, fam. Felt happy for them yesterday. I find it hard to hate on them. They've rebuilt their squad the right way. Big up the Gunners. Listen, look at that. Love from the Chelsea. Huh? Wallahi Walcott is back. Walcott? Who is she referring to?
Wallahi Walcott.
Oh dear. People are calling him. I said Arab Lennon. Holy smoke.
Arab Lennon. I've had Pyramid Pennant. I've had it all.
I said, oh, the joke.
Egypt, Everton, you name it.
Don't joke with the word Wallahi, please. Imagine. Captain Hendo, what do you do? Bar insulting man. Yeah, what do you do? Yeah. Except insulting man, we'll get into that topic very swiftly. Jota to Firmino. Okay, so it was Jota who sent the assist for Firmino. Okay, brilliant ball. As Stanton says, I don't acknowledge #5. So Thomas Partey ain't getting that love, boy. He ain't getting that love at all. I understand. Mirat says Firmino looking at Henderson in disappointment. Deja vu moment for him with Holgate. Ooh. By the way. Yeah,
it's funny he mentions that, because in that moment, Firmino called him, I think it was the P word in Portuguese. Very, very rude words. But Holgate thought it meant something racist, but it turned out it was just that. And then so yeah.
Right. Is my internet gone, or is nobody has everyone stopped commenting? Is it because they're watching us to get through the comments and then we're gonna get onto the next sub? Because I'm literally last 2 comments. Bournemouth are 8th, by the way,
No.
according to Lola. And Tenzin says Liverpool's next games are City, West Ham, Spurs. I don't see where we will get points now.
Blood fire. But do you know what? You know what's weird about Liverpool? If it's under the Anfield lights, yeah, you know we can do City, you know. And I know it looks crazy now, but Liverpool are more than capable of beating.
I need to
City.
keep.
I can't lie.
Someone needs to.
I
screen
can't lie.
record
When
this
you
one,
when you
man.
you have no Diaz, you have no who you lost. Trent is now out, I believe. Van Dijk is not moving like Van Dijk. I can't lie. Erling Haaland is cut. Is it at Anfield or is it Etihad?
Wait.
Is that Anfield?
Yes, Anfield. Whoa. Trent's been the worst defender that we've had this season, so maybe him coming out the line is a
To
blessing.
be fair, Tenzin's missed out on Nottingham Forest and Leeds before Spurs.
Hey?
So your next 5 games include City, then home to City, home to West Ham, away to Forest, home to Leeds, away to Spurs, where you will get Conte sacked at that moment. But that's another discussion for another day.
Klopp better behave and make sure he's not the one getting sacked.
As I said, Liverpool massively fell off, not going to lie. Okay, we're going to talk about this Jordan Henderson saga. Because, yes.
The Brazilians are not happy.
Now, here's what I want to know. Before we get into the actual nook and cranny, how did this get leaked? For example, let's say, something's happened on the pitch, whether it be racial, discriminating, whatever the word is, right? How did anybody catch wind of this before it even hit? Because correct me if I'm wrong, did Sky Sports mention it? Did David Jones sort of reference it?
Sky Sports talks about it because Gabriel was moaning at Henderson.
Because people were talking about
and then obviously the ref ran over to both managers and started talking about stuff. So Sky Sports were like, "Oh, something has been said," and that was on TV as well. So
okay, I understood. Yeah. Understood now. Because I was sitting there like, how do you, like, I'm at the stadium, I don't know what's going on. How the hell are people like coming up? Oh, he said something racial. I'm like, whoa.
Sky Sports didn't claim it was racial. But they did say, like, they just said it looks like something has been said that's really upset Gabriel. So because even like the talking with the managers, I just thought they were trying to he was telling both the managers off, because Arteta does not know what his technical area looks like. He nearly clattered Diaz on the left wing. There's one run where he had, I thought that left boot's is about to attack him. And Klopp, I guess Klopp, that's a man who is renowned for barking at a fourth official, and I'm sure that fourth official, to Andy Madley, had his ears chewed off by both Mikel and Klopp. So I thought it was something to do with them. It turns out it was to do with what happened on the pitch, which is bizarre. Yeah, I think because he was saying to them, like, something's happened on the pitch. Probably have to talk about it afterwards. But yeah,
did Klopp say anything? Because we know Social Labour Party Klopp. Did he say anything?
I don't think he said anything yet. But
as I said, activist Klopp.
It was just weird because even after the game, like, obviously all the Brazilians from both teams on both sides just gathered around, and it was like, okay. Like, something they did
that anyway, to be fair.
Yeah, but you can see Gabriel leading it,
isn't there? There's always something to talk about.
There was. But you can see that it was
nothing.
It was
things that you can say to your own British guys. It's about nothing.
Making like a proper song or dance about it. Like, oh, this is our exclusive Brazilian club.
These times, all it is, they've just gone for a steak after the game. You find them in Park Lane munching a steak.
You see Thiago somehow in loafers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Thiago's all of a sudden there. And so too is he's random. What a backroom staff of Mikel. They're there as well. Like, oh, for goodness,
they'll bring like a private charter flight or something.
But thing, what's my man? Arteta just laughed it off, saying, "Oh, whatever happens on this pitch stays on the pitch." So I'm assuming it's not racial.
Yeah, but
no, Pete. He laughed it off.
That's interesting. Okay, if he's laughed it off, that's interesting.
He's laughed whatever happened. Yeah.
Did Klopp say? Klopp said nothing post match at all.
I don't think so. But yeah, in the interview with the press, like, when he sits on the table, in your press room.
Say again, sorry.
You see when they sit in the press room?
Hey, David, bro. David's talking to us from Kampala, bro. What is the signal?
Yeah, your internet's moving mad. You're a robot now.
Okay,
David's now a robot.
Is he here? This is Al Jazeera, blood. I said, yo, reporting live from Tripoli. He will be back with us shortly, man.
But yeah, Arteta did laugh it off, and I said that's a bit weird because he said what the FA will deal with it. So
unless he takes that as like, because you know, like when you know you're gonna win the case. So it's probably it could be that kind of cynicism. I don't know.
I'm just hoping and praying it was nothing racist because of that. Jordan Henderson, my love, respect, and admiration for the man is on another level. So on like genuinely, like I've been refreshing Twitter all day, seeing like what's he been accused of? What's he been accused of? Because I just can't. It just doesn't make sense. Because this is a guy. He goes on like he's an ally. He's doing all of these talks about, I've seen my friends and teammates get abused. So for him to do it, it's unspeakable, really.
Although this is a man who wore a Luis Suarez t-shirt after his situation. Liverpool fell off that year, bro. They fell off that day when they wore those training. Tenzin says, blessing in disguise if Jordan Henderson gets dropped for 10 games straight. Plus, somehow English media are not talking about it yet in racist terms. English bias.
They don't know what it is.
You got to know what it is first. Hear this from Endo. Man said Hendo can't be racist. I don't believe it. I think it's just a misunderstanding.
Oh, no. One thing for certain, I don't think it was a misunderstanding. It's either he's offered him out, he said something about his missus, or it's race. Like, there's no good storyline that can come out of this, I'm afraid. Because Gabriel's reaction, he even said, what? No.
You know, Gabriel's up for a ruckers. So at any moment in time, it's one of those where, if he's not even going to swing man on this occasion, something else has gone on. You know what? Something maybe. Let's wait and see. Does Gabriel speak English? I heard he doesn't. Small, very tinchy strider.
After 3 years.
Oh, come on, it's tiny. Listen, he's been learning French after his learning Portuguese.
Valencia spent how many years at Manchester United? And you didn't say a word. You didn't speak a word of English. Not an ounce.
Yo, not even, bro.
And he was our captain at one point, by the way.
How many years in Manchester?
I think it was like a good 5-6 years.
And then how many years at Wigan? This man was not learning anything. I mean, to be fair, look, man's up north, like deep Lancashire, bro.
With Rodallega, there was no needs.
There was no need.
And Wilson Palacios, they just formed their own South American faction. He's having a whale of a time. Figueroa.
Figueroa. Tenzin says, normally media, they make their own conclusions first. In this instance, they are not even talking about it yet. Well, this is where it could get really peak. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's a lot of legal things to consider as well. Because if you start defaming someone's name, and then it's like, it turns out it's actually not as bad as what people are saying, you can get sued big time.
Can't call him a racist. But bearing in mind, this is a guy who at some point, if all goes to plan for him, is probably going to get knighted at some point. If if what we've been led to believe has happened, scrapped. Yeah,
it's over.
You can't be throwing the hard R word.
It's over. Look, we've spoken enough about this game. Arsenal looking great, Liverpool looking wobbly, but the season is long. When the World Cup break comes and we start again, it's going to feel like a new season again. Who knows what kind of.
And also, and everyone's going to be tired, except for the robot who has a month off. Another thing that's unfair.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, and that includes Odegaard as well. He should learn on his shooting practice because he frustrates the hell out of me when he doesn't take a shot, and then when he takes a shot, he gives a back pass to Alisson. It's frigging outrageous.
When he's got
by the way,
either side of him.
Lastly, I'll say big up Bukayo Saka once again stepping up to the plate. Didn't have necessarily a lot of the ball, but when he scored his first goal and then he took the penalty, I mean, my God, I'm looking. The thing that I find angry about the Saka situation, Sancho, Rashford, the England thing, was that no big men, none of the olders came and backed the ting, right? And took the penalties. They left these 3 young kids go and take these penalties, right? And then Saka takes the ball. And it's what's so funny, none of the Arsenal players look like they even showed for taking the ball. Like Jesus, I was looking at him, thinking, you're a striker, you might want to go with this. Where's my captain, Odegaard? Where are these people? How is it Saka picking up that ball again?
I think it's harsh because he's a designated penalty taker. He scored crucial penalties last season. And guess what? The boy's got balls of steel, like, and he's got know-how. Does it like Van Dijk just to unsettle him? He tries to knock the ball out of his hand. He just moves like.
Do you know what? AD, you're absolutely right. He has scored penalties since the Euros, and I hate the fact that they keep referencing the frigging Euros when it comes to him taking a penalty because he's got.
I mean, to be fair, you just did.
No. But I meant like, yeah, you're right. I did. But what my point I was making was that I was angry about those that didn't step up, and then I'm angry at the same situation here.
It was criminal.
You know, it's just like, where are my men? Where's the men in this football club to come and take this penalty?
I tell you where the man was. The man is Bukayo Saka.
Bukayo Saka, absolutely.
Any like 80% of the population, if you have that happen to you, it's easy to fall. It's easy to go into your shell. You just gone from strength to strength to strength to strength. And
he is a different breed.
No, man, I respect it.
He is a different breed.
Dare I say? Actually, no, I'm going to say that because he's a good player anyway. He was going to always develop. And I was going to say, like, do you feel like it's almost giving him like an extra sort of point to prove and an extra hunger? But I don't think it has. Like, he's good anyway. He's good anyway. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Tenzin says, commentate on TV, Saka bravery to take the penalty. I'm like, he's not going to war. The only thing I was really scared about was the fact that it was Alisson, who looks like 8'10", and I thought this guy, like, oh god, compared to Saka when he was taking the penalty, because there was a spider cam shot of Saka behind Saka. And you see Alisson in all his glory. You're thinking, my God.
And when he rattles the bar as well.
Yeah, it's over. But he scores. He takes a good penalty, and it's there. Tenzin says Arsenal to win the Premier League. I think if they will all their games till the World Cup, man, that's the thing. I think I wish there was no break. You know, if anything, we're in such good form that a break now will disrupt the flow. And so, Assad says, Peter and David, if Arsenal win the league, you man rocking up to the parade. Are you mad? I'll be working the parade. There'll be music. What? Sakura and Aerosmith, bro. Are you mad? The Saliba songs, the lot. David will be there as well, bro. On the lash, bro.
On the coach, bro.
I said on the coach, bro.
For the good of the top 4 podcast, Peter can't win. You can't win.
I said I can't win. I don't know what's going on, brother.
Bro.
Mate, I am all for us winning the league. Mate. Okay, let's move on. Anything last, David, on this game or AD before we move? As it's your teams.
I think Arsenal literally just keep doing what you're doing. Genuinely, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I think Arsenal would have been able to have mounted a serious. Not serious title challenge. I think you would have mounted a title challenge of sorts, but unfortunately, your key players are going to get injured. It's just a harsh reality. But if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'll be asking myself, why can't we finish second this season? That's what I'll be asking myself.
David, can you confirm or deny these allegations?
I remember this.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, yo, David, where
you
live from, lad?
Where you live from, lad? What? Can you not hear me?
This guy's in Helsinki.
Blood. What's going on?
I can hear you in my bedroom.
I can hear you in my bedroom. I can hear myself. Ah, my bad.
No, you need to come out. Man. It's a bounce. Man needs the woolly bounce. All right. Come back. There he is. Is he there? David, talk. Trevor McDonald, are you with us? Oh, it's Higgy.
Yeah, he needs to change that with that Wi-Fi.
That's an echo. That's a surround sound is mental. Top 4D. That's what I'm saying, man. That's that East London. You know what I'm saying? All right. Manchester United won 2-1 at Everton. 2 back-to-back wins for the Manchester. Yes, AD.
So say it to stop. I was just reading the title of the video. What, Gasperini passed away?
I didn't say Gasperini.
Oh,
I swear I did not put Gasperini. If I did, that's a stinker.
Now I saw R.I.P. Gasperini.
Nah, blood. Don't say that to me. Now I gotta check the title, blood. What I've gone for, man. Let me see now.
My bad. No.
David, are you with us, bro? Or are you in a different? You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro. Trevor McDonald's not here, blood. He's not here, fam. He's not here. Man said, man are saying David's still using a Sony Ericsson. Oh my gosh. SW6 says that I put the right coach. Thank God for that. Gian Piero. I was thinking to myself, have I got the wrong Don? What is happening here? But I got the right one, which is what we want to. Obviously, we'll talk about that later. Tottenham's fitness coach. But where are we? Manchester United winning at Everton, winning at Goodison Park,
Manchester
after going
United.
a goal down, and Ronaldo scoring his 700th goal, which I want to reference because it was at the top of the show. Who referenced it at the top of the show? Baraka. I told you every single comment, guys. Yeah, every single frigging comment. Robin, talk to us.
Yeah, the game kind of went how I expected to win. Like, I thought we were going to concede a silly goal, and we did concede a silly goal. Casemiro, not being himself, just literally gave the ball away, and Iwobi, it's a blind goal, top bins. Yeah, I can't really complain about that. But after that, I thought we were quite in control, really, throughout the whole game, just passing around, just making things look easy. We're just trying to get that goal in there, and then Flavela Anthony was what we'll call him. So he's come through.
Flavela Anthony.
Yeah, we've got too many Anthonys now. I need to distinguish them.
Oh yeah.
So Brazilian Anthony, 3 for 3. First Manchester United player to ever do that in the history of starting at a club. So I was like, it's quite surprising. He scores a goal, and man. He seems to be like, when Robin, when he goes cuts in, top bins, left foot. He seems to be doing that, but obviously it's going bottom corner. He's scored the same goal 3 times now. So it's kind of nice to see that he's blended in nicely, contributing, and then obviously Ronaldo came in and scored a 700 goal, and it was a classic Real Madrid goal. Casemiro made up for a mistake, just passed through, sublime.
Real Madrid
Everyone.
goal.
It was a classic Real Madrid goal. Found Ronaldo, found it, put it back in the net, and did 700 goal. Yeah. And as much as it's been cussing Ronaldo this season, I can't even fret. 700 goals in a career is mad. Absolutely insane.
It's astonishing. 700 appearances is a mean feat.
Yeah. Never mind goals.
Yeah, 700 goals. So, and then other than that, what was very annoying was that Rashford's goal was counted as handball, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I asked, where was the hand? Who is the hand? What hand am I seeing touching the ball? And it was great, and it was a great finish. And what worried me is that because it was disallowed, I thought this is going to be a 2-2 anytime soon. And it was a bit of a nervy end, but we got over the line. Everton has been a weird place to go to, but 3 points is 3 points, and I can't complain about the performance. It was a solid performance from the lads, and we just carry on. Back to Europe.
By the way, Ronaldo's finish, because it's one of the most underrated finishes in football. When it's your weaker foot and you score like that, people just say, of course he scored. No, go do that outside. On your weaker foot, go do that outside. That is hard to do, man. I love and appreciate goals like that, which are just they're easy on the eye, but my God, they're hard to do.
But I don't have really much to say. Martial's injured again. And it's just when he's on the pitch, he's contributing loads out of our young strikers. So I'm talking about him, Sancho, and Rashford. But the brother gets injured too many times. And there's so much we can do. And we'll rely on him. So...
And that's the thing. Assad says, the combination of the Anthonys look good. Felt sorry for Martial. He can't catch a break, He can't catch a break. AD's laughing because the chat is grilling David for the Mac. I'm saying doesn't look like MacBook, but more like Windows 95. My God, that is a shot if ever I've seen one. SW6 says Anthony getting them goals in, Sancho's in trouble. Listen, Anthony should be benching Sancho at this moment in time. Whether or not he's a brilliant player is another question, but the way he takes his finishing, Anthony is doing his thing. You know them ones.
Whatever credits due.
Credit where credit's due. Tenzin says Scholes, Brazilian Anthony, one-trick pony.
Yes, Scholes called him a one-trick pony without even never watched a player, never all that, and he said it straight away. And it's like, Scholes, you can't say that.
But you know what?
Have you not seen Scholes' interview with Gary Neville? You know he does the overlap.
Yeah,
that is one miserable man. Let me tell you, go watch the interview.
But they're walking under the bridge.
Yeah, they're walking, and it encapsulates everything that now I get who Paul Scholes is. Because we never used to really know him until punditry. You never heard anything about him. You knew nothing about this guy, character, nothing. If anything, he was like, he was like the Zidane for Manchester United, right? He's just an unbelievable player, skillful talent. Loads of foreign players always said that he was the best player they ever played against or love Scholes. And then I meet the man who behind the number 18 shirt at Man United. I think this miserable old man, what is going on? That man die young, Anyway.
They always say don't meet your heroes. I'm like,
never meet your heroes. Scholes is one of them. For sure.
Can you imagine bringing a Make-A-Wish kid to go and meet Paul Scholes? He'll probably say, nice to meet you. You've got 8 months left. He's a nasty. He's just miserable.
Oh, by the way, did anybody see Roy Keane just boy off the thing he was at the NFL? First of all, Roy Keane watching the NFL is hilarious to me because I'd love to hear his analysis on that. But somebody come for a selfie and he told man to bounce. He told him to move. I'm watching the game. I'm watching the game. Move. Dying of laughter. SW6, I think, laughing at this comment here about the Windows 95 or something else. Baraka says Sancho shouldn't have left Dortmund given the evidence of we've ever seen since we went to Manchester.
But the thing is, I'll argue with that. The Sancho that we saw at Dortmund is not what we've seen since he's come to Manchester, or that being the manager or the position he's played. And yes, we've not helped him.
Has he had 3 managers since he joined?
So it's like we've not helped him, but at the same time, he hasn't helped himself, and he needs to step up as well. So I think it's a bit of both. It's not a thing of he's not there. He isn't doing what he used to do, but at the same time, we haven't helped him either. So I hope Ten Hag can just bring him up and just get him going again.
Ask you something.
Yeah, ask away.
Is it, because I don't know what it is, but it's one of the two. Is it he can't do what he used to do in this league, or is it he's afraid? Because he's not even trying to do skills or take man on. It's literally if he gets the ball, he's passing it back to the right back, or he's passing he's not trying to do no take. I just wonder, what do you think it is? Do you think he physically ain't explosive enough to execute?
I do think his confidence is down. I agree.
Maybe
especially when ever since he had that incident with the England team, something has not been right. That's I traced it back then. Right. No, but I'm saying, that's when I noticed a big dip in form. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't answer that question because there's many parts to it to say there's a clear-cut answer. Probably just have to do a diagnosis. He needs to go to the GP and see wagwan.
What do you think of SW6's comment here? Sancho has actually scored some vital goals, but just seems shackled.
Yeah, and I agree with that. He looks like something is holding him back. And I don't know if it's a thing of he's afraid that he won't be able to make it to the World Cup. I don't know if he's had so many changes in positions, he doesn't feel like he is valued as much. And now that we've got Anthony, him and Rashford are fighting for the left wing. It's all just becoming a bit hard for him because remember at Dortmund, he was number 1. Him and Erling Haaland, those positions were locked in. But now he has to fight for his positions. I don't know.
This will sound like a stupid question, and I ask this genuinely as a person who doesn't watch Sancho, doesn't watch Man United, doesn't really watch Dortmund. Is he that good, Sancho?
when I watched him, there was a reason I desperately wanted him. I said, this brother is amazing. Like, he done so much for Dortmund. He had a reason to when he went to Dortmund.
Why is AD decreasing?
I don't know. I think he just greasing bare. He had a reason. He had a claim to say.
It was just so.
I meant it out of genuineness.
Yeah, no. Remember when he left City? He was like, "I'm good enough to play for City. Start me." And Pep was like, "Nah."
He was talking that talk, boy. He was talking that talk.
He went to Dortmund and showed that he can play on a big stage, and we saw it for years upon years. So I don't know if it's a thing. Like I said, it's not. I think he's a fantastic player, but I don't know what it is, and he has some part of himself to play on. So yeah.
So Tenzin says on the counter he's good, but in normal play he's not good. So I guess like when you have possession, if you're keeping the ball, as you did against Everton, you had all the ball.
Am I weird for thinking it's the opposite with him?
You think he's better with the ball? Better when the teams have the ball?
I feel like how United set up. United set up on the counter, so obviously it suits man like Rashford like lightning quick. But I feel like with Sancho is a lot more controlled. It's a lot more sort of 1-2s, fullback overlapping. He's sort of coming in. You see what I'm saying? So in anything, I thought, So that's a big reason as to why I feel like he struggled at United, because United don't keep the ball up for starters. So that's why I thought he would have done better with Ten Hag, because seemingly there would have been more of an emphasis on keeping the ball and actually playing football.
No, very, very good point. I mean, Manchester United is a very interesting situation. They do keep changing with the times, if you will. Like, they lost against Man City last week. They've gone on 2 wins since. Who did you not play? Pneumonia? Who the hell did you not play? Friggin' malaria? What the hell are they called?
Omnia, but yeah, the Cyprus team.
That's not a real team.
Yeah, man. Europa League. It's the Europa League. What am I supposed to say?
Can even play as them on Football Manager?
Imagine. It's a true.
It's the Europa League. What can I say?
Sancho plays like he's got change in his pocket. Most passive winger ever. Imagine he plays like he's got change in his pocket. That's you man.
It
how careful
was a good win.
Or a phone.
It was a good win, and for right now, I just want United just get them wins. Like, we will have a beat down here and there from the teams that are much better than us. I get that, but right now the aim is to get back into the Champions League, which is either via top 4, which at the start we thought would be very hard, but teams are just flopping the base left, right, and center. So it's a possibility, or it's through the Europa League. But I'm looking at the Champions League, and the teams that are sitting third right now, if they drop into Europa League, it's going to be much, much harder. Not even for Man United, it'll be harder for Arsenal as well. So top 4 might be the way forward.
SW6 says Man United are actually in a decent position. People's look on Man United is definitely going to be changing as the season goes on. Assad says, Robin, you're coming to the bridge next week. You confident? Wait, so is it Man United, Chelsea, as well as Liverpool City? Holy smokes!
I think we got Chelsea next. We've got Chelsea very up. It's like Chelsea and then Tottenham. Like, that's our big ones. So we had Liverpool, City, Chelsea. October's hard. Yeah.
You ain't got Man United. You ain't got Chelsea.
You do have Chelsea and Tottenham in October. October's a big month for
in
us.
October. Okay, I thought you said next week. You said you come in bridge next week.
I think we are. Like, it's a short span.
I'm literally looking at it now. You're not playing them next week. You're at home to Newcastle on the weekend.
Yeah. No, I'm saying it's Newcastle this weekend. I'm saying next week.
No, because he said next week. But the week
I think
after
he means
that,
I think he means the weekend after that.
All right, fine, fair enough. You got Spurs before that, I think, as well. So says United have Spurs and Chelsea next week back to back. I think one of them is midweek, isn't it? Spurs, I think, is midweek.
Yeah.
So it's a big couple of games for United.
A big couple of games, and then it becomes like, I think we played all of the big 6, if that makes sense, and then we're pushed into January.
But it's those small teams that I worry about Man United. It's never been the big ones. That's the funny thing. Because somebody out there, it could even be Arsenal. Someone's gonna give life to Hasenhüttl again. The man walks with Christ. I don't know how he's still here. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Assad says, yeah, next week it's Monday. Okay, we play Man United next Saturday on the 22nd. I can see maths wasn't your strong point, Peter. Leave it, yeah.
Strong shots. But yeah, no.
Shots fired.
Like I said, just get the wins, and with the big teams, if we get a draw, I'm happy. So
there we go.
Yeah.
Anything more on this game before we move on?
Oh yeah, no. One thing, because I was getting told a lot of African pride, African midfield coming to tournament. Nah, they do that much. Just want to say that.
The Everton African pride. Wait.
I was told.
Robin, such taste after Ugandan's Independence Day over the weekend. That's what you're gonna give us. That's what you're gonna give us.
I had my Ugandan top. Yeah, I had all of that. I was playing all the tunes in the car as I was driving. I was celebrating.
This guy was having
it's
Monday, bro. You know that, Yo, Tenzin says Newcastle are cooking. I think they'll be tough.
It will be a tough game.
Definitely,
it will be a tough game. I don't know how that's gonna go though, because I've seen 2 types of Newcastles this season. So
yes, that's true.
What did 2 types of seen?
Like a really good Newcastle and a really Newcastle that's very meh. Like they're not doing much.
And they've had a lot of draws this season, but they've got a few back-to-back wins now, so they could be on the way.
Yeah.
To be fair, they did beat Fulham and Bournemouth, was it? So as expected. Let's be honest. Let's get onto it, people. Although Oscar's not here, we will talk about the Chelsea. Potter ball in effect, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what, the 3-0 win against Milan, impressive. And then the 3-0 against Wolverhampton Wanderers, a managerless Wolverhampton Wanderers. They used to sort their mess out ASAP.
They're sitting at 18th at the moment in the table, and I was quite surprised at that. So
well, guys, we'll say we're quite surprised. Did you see the state of the centre forward they started on Saturday? I thought Diego Costa retired, and then I'm on Twitter. I'm seeing him posing with a live wolf.
The state is outrageous.
You know, I think they made a big money signing. He done his ACL on his debut. Jimenez has never been the same since he fractured his skull.
Head injury, yeah.
But bro, it's like you got Diego Costa starting for you. You can't even move.
Yeah, no, it's a frigging mess. Just before we continue on with Chelsea, SW6 says most dangerous drink on the planet. He's referring to Waragi, that stuff. And to think, do you know what I found out about Waragi recently? It's gin.
Good stuff.
It's gin. It's not even like, man, some premium high tech vodka.
No, it is though, because it is lethal. Don't say like it's not lethal.
Listen, no. What I'm saying is, imagine, you know when they say, imagine if Carlsberg made football matches. Imagine if Ugandans made vodka. We're in trouble, because if the gin is at like 40%, then good gracious, in fact, it's not even 40. I swear it's like in the Rare Nephew era.
It's like 50s, 60s. It's high.
Yeah, I'm surprised that stuff is legal.
Oh, it's not legal in this country. I'm gonna show you that right now. Well, you can't find it.
You can't get Waragi like on the shops like that. Nah. You need to know uncles. You need to know the uncles.
Huh? You need to know uncles, my friend. You need to know the people. I'm trying to find out what the listen. I want to try and find out what the percentage of alcohol is. This is the kind of content you get, ladies and gentlemen, on the Top 4 podcast. Yeah,
what do you think Wolves' problem is now? Like, because we highly rate Wolves' player.
I can confirm it's 40%. 40% on gin. Anyway,
like we rate Wolves. We rate Wolves as players. Like anyone can take quite a few of theirs and put them into the team and slots in nicely.
Bracker sent a shot to the chest. Flipping out.
Speaking of shots to the chest.
Yes, man. But he says, Chelsea played well. Let's continue.
Now, so Oscar, what's Wolves' problem? Like, we rate their players.
They sacked their manager. I'm gonna stand by this. I'm gonna be his lawyer for this one. No, Joy. Wolves are in a bit of a mess. AD made a few points earlier about the star striker getting injured. Their transfer policy has been sketchy, and the players that they do have
just pure Portuguese.
Well, I mean, like You remember when they signed, like they signed Fabio Silva, for example. I remember they spent
30 million
big
quid.
dollar
Talk
on
about
him,
enough.
yeah, as a kid, right? He was a kid as well. And the thing is, when you look, if you're on Football Manager, you got Wolves' football team, and you got everyone fit, everyone's there. They're a good team. Like they're as good as Leicester. They're as good as Leicester, and yet it's just that the pieces are not. They're not forming, and so everything's a mess. They're not winning games. They lost Cody. It's a cluster.
No, but bro, you made a fantastic point. I think Bolly's sort of influence wanes as time went on. But bro, they let 3 centre halves go out the back door this summer. Sice, Cody, Bowley. And then I just look at it and I say, like, they've literally got a cluster, as you said. They've got fantastic forwards. So you say they've literally got 6, 7, 8 forwards that contribute like 12 goals between them a season. But there's one guy I saw, is it Chiquinhos? One black brother tearing it down the wing. It's just scattergun. The thing is, a good, competent attacking manager can get it to click, can get it to work. But I just think, I think they have been unfortunate. I think they have sort of had key injuries. But you look at it and it's just a free for all. Like, what exactly did these men want to do in the league? I said it at the time. I said, for me, like the system change was radical. It was radical, in my opinion, and ultimately it cost my man his job.
I mean, it's a lot of things. I mean, it's still a mess now for the new manager that comes into Wolves, because look, standing ovation, as Assad said, for Diego Costa received was amazing. He said, "I never had a problem with the fans. It was that coach. What's his name again?" He says, "My striker." Thing is, as well, it's like when I started seeing him getting all that love, and he's walking around. I guess he's got subbed and he's just walking around the side, and I just felt like, okay, it's good to receive like praise from your former fans and whatever else, but man, it's just a bit. It's all a bit like, I don't know. The Wolves need. I don't know. Wolves need some surgery. They need some help there. Endo said, "Hey, did you see what Aubameyang said about Arteta? He's basically called him a was." I did not hear that. I did not hear this. What did Pierre Aubameyang say?
He basically said, "I am a big character, and Arteta can't handle big character. He needs babies in his team to able to manage." That's what he said. It was caught on camera as well. You can go on Twitter.
Oh, so this was
what he said.
Oh, this is one of those where he got caught saying it rather than actually saying it to camera.
No, so it's on camera, him saying it.
No, but what I mean is the way you just worded that, as in, did he get caught on camera or was he speaking to like press or whatever?
He was speaking to somebody, one press, like he was in the room and just speaking to peeps around the room. And he was just like, imagine like we're all sitting in a room and someone was just recording.
Oh, on a Hulk Hogan thing.
Yeah, man.
That cost money his Hall of Fame ring for a time, you know.
On a Richard Keys thing. It's peak. The thing is, though, like he's dissing the players as well, man. He's not even just dissing the manager, like he's dissing our players. Man said he just likes listening to, what's it called? He needs to have babies in order to, like, you know what I mean, he can't handle big characters.
That's spot on analysis.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Because I feel like with Arteta is the kind of guy where he needs people to buy into what he's saying. He needs people to die. Like, he's such a you've called him what's the North Korean leader's name? You've called him a dictator. You've called him Stalin. You've called him all sorts. If I'm a flamboyant 32-year-old Aubameyang, what's this guy telling me about football? Whereas you look at sort of the likes of the Sakas, the Martinellis, they buy into every single word that man says, and he's all about principles, non-negotiables, this, that, and then he's got a captain coming to training 20 minutes late in a Batmobile with a friggin' mohawk.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, like, so I agree with that. Like Arteta is very much, he needs a blank canvas. Let me draw. Aubameyang just got funky cloud colors splattered all over the pitch.
It's organized mess which works from time to time.
Don't get me wrong, it looks cold. It's a fantastic image that you get. But remember, bro, there's a time he came training late. It was calling, like I said, it was calling him Travis Scott, the captain.
The Travis Scott. No, it's true.
Yeah, he had freaking expressions in his hair. Come
on. He said here that he needs to have young kids who don't say anything. He can't handle big characters. SW6 says Chelsea scored some good goals, but a long way to go. So was happy for Broja. Absolutely. Broja getting on the score sheet. Good finish, for a young lad. Yeah, Chelsea looking decent. You know what I'm saying? There's something to, at least they ain't got to watch. They ain't got to be worried about Potter as such, but they do know that there is a mountain still to go. There is still a way to go. But yeah, they are, all the pieces are forming right thus far, because he's yet to lose, isn't he? Potter. He's got like draws and wins. Assad says, I'm so happy that we're finally seeing patterns of play and attackers are chipping in with goals. 2 Chile ban. Wow. Made us think everyone was useless. Well, the Chelsea fans have spoken. I'm a big fan of Tuchel still, nonetheless. But Potter, I'm surprised that it's fitting. I'm surprised it's working for him at the moment at Chelsea. Baraka says that he's happy for Pulisic and Broja. Yeah, absolutely. Good players who are scoring goals, who are doing their thing. So yeah, that's very, very, very important. Anything else on this Chelsea game before we wrap up?
No, Chelsea are doing their thing. I think they will qualify for the last 16, especially against that Milan performance. Albeit Milan did have quite a few players out. They pretty much put them to the sword, and I was quite surprised. I thought Milan would give them a game. And yeah, Chelsea will be all right, if that makes sense. There's one thing about Chelsea, like they go through patches, but they'll be all right.
Yeah, I never feared for Chelsea once. You know what I'm saying? I don't. They were always going to be in the top 4 without question. And Assad says we're back in the top 4 now, a game in hand on top 3. So credit to Chelsea. It wasn't that bad to begin with, in all honesty, in my opinion.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
The sacking didn't make sense, but because it wasn't even that bad then. But
yeah, no, not even just the sacking, because everybody's mood about Chelsea was a bit different, and probably the manager, of course, has a big part to play in that, because I think the football wasn't necessarily played the way that they wanted. But yeah, in the end, they're riding high at the moment. They haven't really played anybody of, I don't know if they have of any significance, but Spurs. I mean, yes, Spurs, they should have won. I mean, Spurs getting away with a draw was what you call robbery. It's called daylight robbery.
But you know what? Yeah, I'll be honest. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm looking at Bowley and I'm thinking to myself, let the good times roll on. Like, apparently, they spent it was the biggest transfer window in the history of football. A month or 2 removed from that, they've agreed a deal with Nkunku. Apparently, they've got Leipzig's director of football or whatever coming to the. Yeah, it looks like a really, really, really aggressive onslaught.
It's aggressive. That's definitely for sure.
It's ferocious.
Chelsea are moving aggressive, and we will see if it works out or not.
So it's like flipping Anderson Silva in his prime.
Yeah. Let's rattle through these last few games as well before we wrap up. Man City 4-0 against Southampton. Haaland scored again. And if you had Cancelo,
so we're not even 10 games yet, and this brother's close to 20 goals for the season.
Erling Haaland has 20 goals in all comps. He's got 15 Premier League goals in 8 games or 9 games. Phenomenal. We're gonna be here saying this every week.
Guys, can we park on this Man City game? But more so, there's a case I want to raise against Southampton Football Club.
Before you go, let me get these 2 Chelsea comments in. Baraka says Bowley ain't playing around, and Nkunku someone I'm excited for. If we're not gonna challenge, bring the ballers. Okay, and before we touch on Cancelo, yes, Southampton inquest. Go ahead.
We need to launch an inquest. We need a points audit, because I'm being deadly serious, because I sat down on Saturday and I thought about it. Hang on a minute. What was the last time Southampton won a game? And these streaks happen multiple times in the season. So guys, in the top 4, from now on, we're gonna have to document every single point Southampton get, because I suspect the Premier League are fixing points. The Premier League are adding points onto their total. That's what I sincerely believe. They won. I was talking to Peter about it yesterday. I was like, "What, Pete? How many games do you reckon Southampton won last year? What, 11, 12? They won 9 games and they stayed in the league." I'm telling you. Listen, we need an audit. We need an audit.
Nah, AD made this case about Southampton yesterday on the way home. I was on the train, guys. I was in stitches when he made this case because I was like, nah, this is outrageous. How he's remained in the league. I said to you, he walks with Christ because he's been in 4 seasons at Southampton, whereby we never seen them win games. I said, why does
He's
Ralph
lost
always seems-
9-0 twice. Was it
He's lost 9-0 twice.
9-0
Yes.
twice? What? And he's still alive to tell the story. I'm telling you, there's games they've lost 2-1 at Goodison Park. The Premier League have just added a point. Because nobody cares about Southampton. Nobody's looking. Do you think I care? Do you think I care about what happened when Southampton went to Molineux? Do you think anybody cares? I'm telling you guys now. Pay attention.
No, the allegations on Southampton are outrageous. Because yes, they have
won
lost 2-1
games last season, bro.
Look at this, right? They lost to Man City, obviously, lost to Everton, lost to Villa the week before that, lost to Wolves the week before that. They somehow beat Chelsea the week before that. They lost to Man United the week before that. They beat Leicester, drew with Leeds, and lost to Tottenham on opening day. They've had some sketchy results, man, and they've always had done. Man said, I'm with AD. I don't know how Southampton do it. It's a fantastic point. He walks with Christ. That's my accusation to it, for sure.
And I got a bunch of toddlers I've never been in before. We'll see what happens to him.
I wonder how Alicia Lehman can play midfield with such a big load. She is carrying.
Whoa.
I've missed this.
Can we read that?
I don't know. What's the...
That's a pause. What's happening here?
I don't know. Tenzin, you have to explain. Unless you guys know what you're talking about, you have to explain. Cancelo was sensational. Yes, Man City were brilliant. I mean, you know, Southampton are a dreadful side, but yes, Cancelo was brilliant.
I've seen that midfield.
It's a dreadful side. It's a dreadful side. Yeah.
But we were praising their defenders a couple of games ago. Still,
were we? Did you say we were praising their defenders?
Yeah, when they played against us.
Aha, okay. Haaland needs to be drug tested.
Yeah, I remember.
But he's not God.
This team had no shot on target against Man City. Haaland needs to be drug tested, and Ralph still having a job should also be investigated. The Premier League need to put in the quest.
We need an audit, guys. I'm telling you. There's been seasons Southampton have finished on 27 points, 34 points. It's gone under the radar. They finished it to 14.
Oh, they finished what, like 17th, and they're still here.
No, we spoke about this last week. Yeah, they were finished. Sorry, yesterday, me and AD. He asked me where did Southampton finish last season. They finished somehow 15th on 9 wins.
Who scores goals for them? Armstrong don't score. Adam don't score. Shane Long didn't score. Elyounoussi don't score. Where is it coming from?
Elyounoussi. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, let's fantastic. I love that rant on Southampton. It's a brilliant one. In other places, Brighton 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Rest in peace to Gian Piero Ventrone. Oh god, I need to make sure I get that right. I said, Peter, do you put the water or the toothpaste first? What?
Are you saying your teeth are shiny?
Please. I went to America, but I've got that whitening done. Please. Of course, bro. It's the paste first. If you put water first, you're a criminal. Like people who put milk before cereal, criminals. Absolute criminals. Remember when Dele Alli asked that question? Yeah, for real. Wild.
What did you ask?
What do you put first? In All or Nothing documentary of Tottenham, and there was a conversation about what do you put first, the toothpaste or the water? Like it was a question in the scene, and I think some scarecrow said water first. I don't know who it was. But yeah, Spurs winning 1-0 against Brighton. Look, guys, this can't be sustainable at Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, it can't be sustainable. This is and Harry Kane. I'm looking at him like, when are you gonna leave, man? Get out of here. Because the fact that he's still there and still remains, Tottenham can always do this. Right?
So I want to tell a little story. When I was visiting Ernie in the shop, yeah, I was having a dream. We're talking about
the fresh
Tottenham.
trim. I'm seeing Robin with the deluxe. I'm thinking, album cover.
And we were talking about Tottenham, and I said this. I was like, listen, I don't want Peter to be right, but this Conte, brother, Conte, I don't know what is going on with you.
I've got one man on the train already. I'm not
on the train.
No.
I'm on the platform.
You bought the oyster.
I'm on the platform.
Fair enough. You're waiting for that train to arrive.
Where you guys going? Again, Peterborough. What's the destination?
No, because I'm asking Conte, like, you're actually complaining a hot minute, and complaining Conte is not good because it feels like he's resigning a little bit to like what he's got, and it's just like,
I'm sorry. This time,
and he has and like I said, Tottenham have an amazing manager, but he's not doing himself justice. Yes, he went to Spurs, and I get it, but certain managers, and you can agree with this, Peter, certain managers should be able to turn anything around or make something better with any team.
Yeah, maybe make it better.
It doesn't seem like it's not with Tottenham. Like, they started great, they made it to the top 4, but ever since then, it's been an up and down, both in Europe and in.
I don't know, Robin. I think you're being harsh. Yeah. They're better this year in the league than they were last year. Result.
But how big? By how far? By how far?
Listen, it stinks. It friggin' smells, but it's an improvement, man. Only me and Peter said that at the start. Totty are not good. Listen, you know my thoughts.
I mean, they're winning games, guys.
They are winning games, but bro, the grenade is ticking. The bomb is going, bruv. The bomb is about to go.
Can I be honest? Do you know what my stance is?
Go on.
Don't get me wrong. Like, the style of football sucks. It's awful. It's diabolical. But my thing is with Spurs, yeah. This is Conte. Give me any sort of defense. Give me an elite number 9. I'll make it work. That's what.
But Chelsea fans.
How sustainable is it? Go on.
But when Chelsea fans had Conte, the football was better than this. Let me ask the Chelsea fans: when you had Costa, you had Hazard, you had Cesc Fabregas,
they had better players.
Oh yeah, they had better players.
He's working with what he's got to a degree.
And that's why I say at Tottenham, you're going to get Dross because he hasn't got a good enough team. He never will have a good enough team. And and that will be the case. He will have to play like this, even against teams like Brighton. He will have to play like this.
But my thing is, listen, what Tottenham are doing is quite simple. They're battening down the hatches and they're letting their attackers win them games with moments of brilliance. How sustainable is it? I don't know. But Harry Kane, Son, Kulusevski, and Richarlison, between those players, they've got enough quality to outscore most teams in the league. That's how I'm seeing it.
Fair dues. I mean, Boss Endo says Tottenham fans will grow sick of Conte. This is looking very Mourinho-like when he was there. Endo continues to say, an away win at Brighton is a great result, though. This week, I'll allow the stinky football. And that's the thing. As long as you're winning, yes, the stinky football will always be given a bly. It's when the results don't always go their way, as it is in football. Man City won't win every game. So what do you think of Spurs then? Do you know what I'm saying? So the ship's going to tie the other way, and the tide will get high, and then we're going to be like, oh, I want better football.
But my thing with Spurs fans, I hope they're not being naive with it because they went into that game with a back 3. They played 3 DMs or defensively minded players. Either side of those midfielders were fullbacks playing at wing back, and then 2 forwards. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what? I'm not expecting rip-roaring attacking stuff.
Fair dues.
Like when you look at that lineup that they played at the weekend, what are you expecting?
I'm not. I'm certainly not expecting liquid football. And listen to why my dimension of the grenade was coming. It's because it doesn't fit Tottenham and Conte and Levy, right? And the poor squad it is in terms of I'm talking relatively speaking. The poor squad it is, the fact that he needs to spend about 200 million on that team to get some sort of liquid, to get some sort of oil going on in there, because it's rigid, it's rusty.
But Peter,
but it's functional.
Well, Peter, if he should have known that Tottenham mechanic he ain't giving him what he wants. He's not giving him a big spoiler. He's not giving him neon lights. I'll give you the whip. Take me to where you need to go. I'm so sorry. If Conte throws his prams at this situation, he's on his own. He's only got himself to blame.
The thing is, though,
Juve they cut his legs. They cut his legs from under him. Fine. Chelsea done the same thing. Fine. Inter, that was an atrocity what they done to him. Fine. But if he thought when he signed on the dotted line at Tottenham Hotspur, he was going to get the backing, he was going to get all the players he wanted, he was going to get unlimited funds to rejuvenate the squads, then he's even madder than what they say he is. That was a refurb. It was, I've got Ben Davis, take him from a 4 to a 5, which he's done.
The thing is, I said from day one, like, you know, I love Conte, right? And when he came up with that first defeat and he said, I now understand the situation I'm in, right? And I now understand that the level of Tottenham is not very high. I then said, wait a minute. So, like, you know, for me, I was like, your judgment is off. I can't trust you with my money. If that's what you thought coming into Spurs was going to be all nice and dandy, you were dead wrong. And why did you think anything else?
But then, at the same time, remember, he was kind of waiting for the United job. Like, at that time. Like, because he wanted to go United. Yeah, he was. He wanted to come to United, but United weren't really keen on him.
Which is outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
It's an outrageous thing, but...
No, yeah, because going back to your point, look, like as you said, no, you're 100% spot on. Like, Spurs can easily lose 3 of their next 5, 3 of their next 8, and exactly what you're talking about. But my thing is, like, you see how Conte said he was surprised and he was like, "Wow, this is the level." In my opinion, he's a good enough coach to improve that crap bunch of players and take them to the next level. And that's what and bearing in mind, he got a top 4 that season. That he said, I now understand.
He did. But the truth of the matter is, if everyone is up to gear, if everyone's up to speed, Tottenham don't make the top 4 in the Premier League. If everyone is up to speed.
But do you know my thing is? They're better than a lot of... Literally, I kid you not. My thing is, like, I'm 100% with you 2/3 of the pitch. My thing is, they've got certifiable match winners.
Yeah.
That's my thing about. That's my thing about Tottenham Hotspur, and that's my thing about Conte. I will turn water into wine. Give me a flipping number 9. That should be Conte's slogan in life.
Fantastic. Because that's why I was like, when is Harry Kane going to leave? Because I'm sick of it. He's scoring goals everywhere. What did you say, AD, when we were talking yesterday? That
apparently all this 8 and 8, but because we've got that freak over in the Eastlands, we said it's like 8 and 8. Is that it? Is that all you've come to bring me? Piss off and get out of my face.
So Harry Kane's got 8 goals in 8 games, and yet because of Haaland, we don't even talk about Kane because there's nothing special. It's outrageous. Fantastic stuff from Harry Kane, top baller. Tenzin said, I think Brighton left all their end product back at Anfield. They were superb without any end product. Yeah, typical Brighton story. They need a striker. Assad says, our football in Conte's first season was very good. We actually had patterns of play, not sit back for 80 minutes. Yeah, you had a better team, which is what probably the argument would be. Had a much better team, and that's my thing. My thing is that Conte will play this way until he gets better players, and Tottenham won't give him the better players. AD, I'll wait for you to join the platform. It's going to burst.
Now, can I be honest with you? Look, logic dictates that you're 100% spot on, because this is unsustainable. You can't play this crap for so long. You're gonna get found out. Yeah, 1,000,000,000% agree with you. Like, there's no dispute on that. My thing is, I think Spurs have enough quality to buck the trend. And I think
that line right there is going to cost you this season.
Could have cost me everything.
I'm going to come back to that line. I believe Spurs have the quality to buck the trend.
No. But by quality, I genuinely mean forward players. I genuinely mean.
I know you meant the. But listen, it's your sentence. That's your sentence. What you will say will be used against you. Yeah.
Oh, that's my bed. Let me lie in it.
I'll be there, but I'll be there at the end of the season. Baraka says we were cooking under Conte. The moment we let Costa go, it went downhill in terms of quality and performance. Absolutely. As AD said, give me a number 9 and all is fine. Tottenham are defo missing Kulu, though, baller. So Kulusevski obviously not fit. They're probably missing him. We might see a much better forward kind of, they're still scoring goals, but nonetheless, they're not as fluid up front as they used to be. Asa says everyone was hyping up their window. Only one of them starts. Spurs team is clacked.
But that's bad. That's bad because they actually
had
a good point. Actually, window. They actually had like a window where it was like, Tottenham are buying players. Like they're filling up the faces, but
So why?
It's just the way
why does
it's
he only
come
start
out.
one? Why does he only start one?
But that's what I'm saying. That is, there's many things that's come out that's like, oh, this is surprising. Because I'm not going to say, nah, they had a bad window now. Nah, they did their thing. They were buying players, they were recruiting. I'm sure this is all, not some, but this is quite a few players that Conte actually wanted to help. But the fact that he's not starting them, there has to be questions
Well,
raised. Like, was it actually his players? Was it actually what he was? Basuma.
Well, Jed Spence apparently wasn't even his signing. Basuma doesn't start. I guess Perisic is old, so you can forgive him starting some games, not starting some games. Who else did they buy? Kulusevski, I think.
How can you forget £60 million Richarlison?
How can I? I think that's the only one that plays. That's the funny thing. That's the one that starts. So you look at it all, you think, actually, hang on a minute. Okay, it's peak. Let's put it that way.
No, do you know how I see it? I see it as this, like that. For me, that Spurs window, it wasn't revolutionary. It wasn't world class. It wasn't what were people calling it. I still think for what it was good. You've got Perisic, you can cover both sides. He knows exactly what Antonio Conte wants. He has a bit of guile and experience to that team, which I think they desperately need. For me, I said, I was talking about the quality of that Spurs front line. I'm not Richarlison's biggest fan. I despise him as a human being, first and foremost. And as a player,
ever since the bus incident, it's never been the same.
But before that was just finding in the coffin. That was when the coffin was in the ground and he pulled dirt on top of it. Like, our relationship was dead a long time ago. But even with him, as much as I don't rate him, guess what? He can play anywhere in the front three. And okay, yes, but I was going to say Spurs don't miss a beat. Like, he's maybe not at the level as the starters, but he's a Premier League level starting forward, whether we like it or not. Spence, I think you mentioned Spence. Conte is not going to be here this time next year. Like that's genuinely just one for the future.
So when I said he'll be gone this season, why was that so absurd at the start of this window, at the start of the season? Why was that so absurd when I said it?
I personally think he'll get them top four. I think I predicted him to get third actually, but he's gonna leave at some point. He's got an 18-month deal. I think now we're in the final. Now we're in the final year of it. No. Conte's gonna leave at some point. My point is, like, they sign players for now to appease Conte, and then Spence. I think they also signed some Destiny, Odeji, as apparently a really, really good young fullback as well. These are obviously players that are sort of going to come in the future. I think Basuma is the one that's alarmed me, because I think in his first training session, I think he said something like, he doesn't know what I want from him or something like that. That's why I don't play him. I'm thinking that's a bit odd. That was your best signing. I mean, he did start in the weekend.
And he was probably the cheapest, wasn't he? Except for the free transfers. All right, let's rattle through these, man. We're going on for ages. Peter, at least Tenzin says, Peter, at least they can play much better than the way they're making, than the way he's making them play with players that they've got. They have no ambition to control the game, but only to defend with 10 men. Yes, it's shocking football. Don't get me wrong. Endo says, despite how bad they are, they're only 4 points behind you. Who finishes higher, Arsenal or Spurs? The answer is Arsenal this season. They will finish higher than Spurs, because Spurs will be without Conte by the end of the season.
Oh, Peter, surely there's another gear they can go. This can't be basically, Peter, do you know where it is? I just realized something from Ender's comment. This can't be the best Tottenham Hotspur have to offer. This can't be the best that we're seeing.
You guys are making my point. It's going to fail.
This can't be. There must be more gears to go.
Was going to fail. Was always going to fail. And
he's got them top four 1 year.
Yeah, at first dibs, and now he probably feels entitled to be given the bag. Not Jed Spence and these men that he doesn't play.
He's a freak. If he thought he was getting the bag at Spurs, he's a freak of nature. He's a nasty man.
Yeah, he is, and that's why I'm worried about his judgment, because I'm questioning it far too much. He asked the board to make the decision of whether to sack him or not when he lost in the FA Cup to Middlesbrough. This man is a lunatic.
He's so volatile.
He is volatile, my friend. But rest in peace to the fitness coach, of course, Gian Piero. And seeing them, Kane and Conte, even emotional tears and everything. Obviously, clearly he was a man. And the amount of good words that he spoke about this fitness coach. Fitness coaches are not supposed to be liked. If anything, they're supposed to be hated because they're running their players into the ground.
Making flipping bleep tests.
Oh, apparently he was kicking their buts. Like, and it's one of those where you think if it's we give it all this Conte stuff. Apparently this guy was the right hand man. So if we see the performances drop, ladies and gents,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, but there's another thing that's been sad today. The Brighton player that had to retire as well.
yes,
Because of the heart problems.
Mwepu, yeah, who scored at the Emirates last season. It's a shame. 24 years. Did he? 24 years of age, and he's having to retire from football because of heart conditions, and it's just sad. He's been robbed of his dream. You know what I'm saying? He's been robbed of his thing, and I feel my heart goes out to him. But he's taken it so well as well. He's a very mature boy, and hopefully he gets to do something in football long term where we see him forever. I hope so.
I'm just grateful that we found out about it now.
Early.
Early. He's collapsed on the pitch.
Big up the crew that found out, man. Big up to everyone that found out whatever it was early doors. 24. I mean, it's a friggin' shambles. Like, it's an absolute. That's devastating.
Yeah, he's never finished his prime yet. He's literally.
You know what I'm saying?
He's still a young player, technically, right?
He's not even at his healthiest age yet. Really, he's not even at the peak condition. And yet, this is what's happened. Assad says, Robin, Spurs were just buying for buying's sake. How many of the players they signed are top 4 quality? Bar Basuma, I'm not taking any of them. I hear that, cuz. What are you saying, Robin?
Nah, I can't deny that. I don't think it was a bad window. That's the thing. I feel like they addressed positions. Did they address the positions well? Is always the question. But yeah, no, the Basuma one was the best signing because I think everybody would love Basuma that we saw at Brighton in their team. No shadow of doubt. But the way
funny
he's been
thing
used since,
the funny thing is, you take a player from Brighton style of football, Potter football, into Tottenham style of football, Conte football. Here we are. Here we are.
That's probably it,
Here we are. Tenzin says, is Conte trying to get sacked so he can take over Juventus job? Juventus never sacked their managers during the season, just as a known fact. And also, it costs. No, they don't, because it costs too much money. They are not willing to pay anybody. Even when like there was a moment where they had sacked Sarri in their mind, but he did not go until
in their mind. But they wait until they won the league. They won the league before they sacked him.
Andrea Pirlo was nowhere near the league. He was fourth.
That's like the first year off of it.
He salvaged fourth place and then won 2 cups. Then he said, "Okay, thank you very much, arrivederci." Yeah, and then that was that. Maybe but I can't lie. I know we don't really do Serie A, but Juventus are in the mud. Wait, the mud is thick, and I'm loving it. Freaking loving it. As an Interista, I'm loving it.
No, but even we're doing bad. Like, we're not doing great as well. But Juventus, like,
listen,
I'm at the moment.
Let me tell you,
calm.
I am flying. I'm flying a light blue Napoli flag in the name of Maradona. Okay, like if they can win the league this year, I'll take it. I'll be very happy. Big up to him. I saw him play his first few games last season, and he was scoring every now and then. This is regarding Mwepu. Endo says, "Mandem, the other day I was looking at Juve's lineup, and they're still mid as hell." Yeah, it's mid, blood.
Like they are genuinely like Europa League bound at present.
At present, yeah.
For me, it was that Higuain signing. That's what I like pinpoint the decline.
Was that the beginning?
What are you spending 73 million quid on him for? At his stage of fitness, forget how old he is.
And
like Allegri, like you wanted Allegri at some point, Peter. What's your thoughts on him now?
I tell you what, it's dire. And to be fair, you know the mess Arsenal were in. He was not saving us. He was definitely not going unless he brought with him. No, you know what is? I trust Italian coaches though. I have too much trust in them. They do well in this league. If he brings 5, backroom staff with him, I'll be okay. I just trust them, man. But the football is dire. It's peak. Right, let's rattle through these guys. Newcastle 5-1 against Brentford. Good result for Newcastle United. Somebody mentioned them somewhere earlier. I think it was Tenzin who mentioned something about Newcastle United. Newcastle played better against Liverpool. They were lucky to get the win. I agree with that. And the way Isak made his debut there, fantastic stuff.
Bruno doing his thing as well.
Bruno as well did his thing. Oh yeah, we bigged up Higuain on his retirement. Of course, yeah, Higuain, isn't it? Gonzalo Higuain. You know what I'm saying?
Enjoy the time, brother.
I wish he joined Arsenal when we were linked with him at that time when he was at Napoli.
Oh,
If he joined us then,
one piece away, man.
always one piece away. Always one piece away. I think he joined Napoli that year instead of actually. I think he was at Real Madrid and then joined Napoli. It was just bizarre, absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, because he was like obviously he was underneath Benzema, but he was still clapping goals.
He was still clapping goals, like a good 15, 20, and then he went over to Serie A and then broke the Serie A record in his first year.
But unfortunately, to play in front of Karim is you gotta be the man.
You gotta be the man. Liverpool. Endo says Liverpool haven't won a league game since August 31st. Ouch.
Is that pre-carnival?
Is that pre?
I'm sure it was like a couple days.
No. That's post carnival, my guy. That's the day after.
It's the day after. I think
day
it's the
after.
day after.
So Trent's just got Ray in his system from then.
That's it. Ray still in the system. Yes, Newcastle winning 5-1. Bournemouth beating Leicester. Just when you think Leicester have come on to winning ways after beating Nottingham Forest last week, they then go and lose to Bournemouth. What the hell is going on with Leicester? Big up Bournemouth as well. Big up Bournemouth as well. They're doing well under no manager, but we got Gary O'Neill.
Gary O'Neill?
Yeah.
These men are slapping. I swear I saw him one time. It was when it was the deck in Liverpool colours. I think it was a Liverpool under 18 coach.
Like I said, I looked at the table and Bournemouth are like what 8th? They're just chilling.
Man. Scotty Parker was selling us a dud, blood. He sold us a dud. That's what it was, bro.
I was ready to. I'm still ready to get rid of them. Like, but at that time,
that's an awful squad.
Yeah, question: How is Brendan Rodgers still surviving at Leicester to this day? And also
because you were right on that point. They can't afford. They can't find someone who's going to replace him.
And he got a 5-year deal as well. But by the way, guys, Nottingham Forest giving what's their manager called now? I forgot his name now. Steve Cooper, a new contract till 2025. What's the budge they're on after that defeat?
Peter, do you know what that tells me? It tells me they're here to match Norwich and Fulham model. Brother, how many years was what's that guy's name? What was Norwich's
2025 was his thing. It was his deal. I couldn't believe it.
By the way, full time, 1-1, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa. Maybe not been mentioned.
Glad I didn't watch it. But yeah, you were saying AD.
Bro, Daniel Farke was probably manager for like 4 or 5 years. Up, down. It only got to the point where it was like, no, even for us, this is bad, bro. That's what I think the man are on.
Because he would come to the Premier League and you just can.
Some of these man that they've signed this season, they're gonna sell them for profit. They're gonna keep, because you get the parachute payment, they're gonna keep a load of these players they've signed this season. They're gonna hands down have the best team in the championship. Will come up again. So, and also let's not forget where Steve Cooper found these men in the championship. Anyway, they were languishing for 2 decades there. So they probably said, you know what, we're onto something. He's a good young manager. He was doing his thing with the England youth set up. This is us. And also, I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like Forest are set. I feel like Forest are now going to be thrown into that. I feel like West Brom, right? Let's just say for West Brom have dropped out. I think now Forest are going to come into that cycle now. Like Forest are going to get promoted 2 of the next sort of 5-6 years.
Could be right. Speaking of West Brom, they sacked Steve Bruce after he got booed out of the building on the weekend. No, what I say to you, bro, man, them were ready to shank this guy, bro. They booed him out the building on the weekend.
He's a football tart, ain't he? He's like, is it? Nothing.
He'll be in a job in about 2 months' time.
Yeah. What's the name of that Italian striker? It was like,
Christian Vieri.
That's the one.
Who played for Lazio, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and Juventus. What? How have you played for all of them?
This guy's managed Birmingham, West Brom, Aston Villa, Sunderland, Newcastle. You just take a gig anywhere.
You take a gig anywhere, bro. Okay. How Brendan is still surviving is a great question. Scamacca is the new Zlatan. West Ham winning 3-1 against Fulham. West Ham United there. Scamacca's
solid win.
Solid win. West Ham may have. I think they've got it together now, haven't they? They've got it together now. and they can go marching on. Fulham, 2 defeats in a row. Questions will be raised. Tenzin says Higuain cost Messi his World Cup. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
But I can't lie, I still remember that last kick from Messi, that free kick, and it went high. And I was like, no, Messi, no.
Into the sky. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Endo says Kasper Schmeichel is seeing what Ward is doing and now wants to leave Nice. Nah, for real. Ward's not a professional goalkeeper. It's as simple as that. Did you see the goal he conceded?
What the second one when he just flapped at it? What? Bro, honestly, it's like he's playing pro clubs.
Bro, but that's what it was like when I had Almunia and Fabianski as the backup at Arsenal for 5 years straight at the Emirates. I said, nah, someone's on for a massive bet.
Would you rate Fabianski now? Like as he's improved over the years?
When he left, yeah, I did. Yeah. When he left, yeah, I did. I never wanted him back, even with a 50-year-old Czech in goal. I still wouldn't take him back.
No, but guys, I've heard apparently they call Schmeichel an egomaniac.
Oh yeah?
What, in Nice, in France?
They're saying his head is so far up his own backside, it's unreal. They said first of all, he's come over however many kilograms overweight. New club. So how he passed the medical, then only God knows. That's for starters. They're saying apparently, I think he didn't start his first game. He demanded to know why he wasn't starting. It's a mess.
Wow, it's an absolute mess. Steve Bruce being booed, laughing my butt off. Absolutely. And Crystal Palace beating Leeds United wraps up the weekend's Premier League football. Big up to Patrick Vieira getting the win. It's a very good win. Ladies and gentlemen, who is the player of the week?
I don't want to scratch your ego.
I've got my one.
I got 2 choices. I got either Martinelli or Saka. Take your pick. I'm going to go Saka this week.
I take your Saka and Martinelli, and I raise you one Benjamin White.
Solid.
I'm going to say Martinelli.
You're saying Martinelli. Okay, guys, in the chat, first name that comes up: Martinelli, Ben White, or Bukayo Saka. Martinelli takes the spoils. An honourable mention, of course, for Newcastle, Bruno Guimaraes.
Also, honourable mention for Cancelo. Cancelo was excellent for City.
Cancelo, of course, yeah. Cancelo, yeah. As I said, Peter, the way Steve Bruce got booed was nuts. No, it was mental. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it.
Was it nuclear heat?
Bro, nuclear heat. Like
Vicky Guerrero levels?
It was Vicky Guerrero levels. Bro, I was listening to it on 5 Live. So, when you got the radio on and then you can hear the radio commentator and then you hear the booing behind. I said, okay. Big up GK who says Martinelli. Get me have to come in there with that comment there. Bruno certainly for thing. Saka for getting me FPL points after I transferred him in. Top notch. Good shot there. But Gabriel Martinelli is your player of the week. Who is the team of the week? The Arsenal FC. Is that even a question?
See, did we beat Liverpool?
We finally beat them properly.
I was like,
in a real league.
See that thing still, but
man said Di Maria with his 3 assists.
You could even say Newcastle 5-1.
I'll turn it in. They beat Bournemouth, bruv. Turn it friggin' in. Turn the key off. Turn the friggin' key off. Yeah, Arsenal beat Liverpool.
Arsenal. I am playing with you. It is Arsenal, but yeah.
Arsenal, let's see. Who's got the goal of the week?
Do you know what? It wasn't necessarily like an exceptional goal, but I think Robin alluded to it earlier. Like when a man finds his hallmark, when a man finds his thing, and he just executes it 1, 2, 3rd time now. That Anthony finish against Everton.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Because he took it so well. I
have 2. So both from the same game. It was the Anthony or Iwobi goal. I can't count that. That goal was actually very good.
I tell you what,
Iwobi's goal was good.
Generally, objectively speaking, Iwobi probably did score the best goal of the week. That was insane.
Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes scored good goals as well. As did Cancelo. People are saying Iwobi. Are you guys sure?
That was a very good goal.
It's amazing.
Very, very good
Unless
goal.
unless SW6 is just giving him as a shout, like, yo, could it be him? Messi versus Benfica. But yeah, I think guys, let's vote. I don't know where to go, if I'm honest. I'm gonna go Anthony because he's been consistent with that finish and he's been finishing phenomenally well. So I'm gonna go Anthony.
I can back it, Anthony.
Oh, that's two there, even though Iwobi's goal was considered cold.
Iwobi's finish was phenomenal. It
was.
Somehow Anthony wins the goal of the week. People will not be happy about that one. Who's not that guy? I haven't got a not that guy. Oh, actually, have we got a not that guy this week?
It's a very lazy one, but it has to be mentioned. VAR. What is going on?
The handball.
I've seen 2 handballs that were not given as handballs, and I've seen a handball. I've seen not a handball given as a handball, and we're here once again saying, what are the people in the booth seeing that 60 million people are not?
Mike Dean's in there eating biscuits and orange juice. He's enjoying being paid whilst he's retired. He's got his feet up in there. Probably got Coronation Street on the stage. He's having a whale of a time.
Just quickly, Endo says that shout out to Iwobi, one of the most undeserved, disrespected players in the league. And Tenzin says, I think he's finding his feet in midfield now.
I feel like Iwobi's like a Skidmore Bronc or something, or like where's Houlihan? Like the ability is there, but where does it fit?
Endo knows his football blood. Iwobi was always a center. It was always meant to be a number 10, even at Arsenal. Tenzin's getting that education. But yeah, continue. Not that guy, man. Let's wrap this up. We need to wrap this up ASAP.
But yeah, the standard of the refereeing is poor. There's a reason why they didn't go to the last World Cup. Surprisingly, I think one person's going to the World Cup this time, but I can't remember who.
It's usually one of each nation. So like like a core of 4. So you got the referee, the 2 linesmen, and the 4th fish. There's a big not that guy, says SW6, and I'm sure there is.
The thing is, I feel
a big duo.
It's obviously number 14, isn't it? But it's speculation.
Well, that's the thing. It's speculation. So we can't necessarily go with it until it all comes out. Man said, I can't lie. I think it's going to be redundant this week. No, I'm sure there's something out there. That we've missed. But because a lot happens in a week, bro. You got to take, when you see something that's wild, you got to make sure you take note of it, just so you can remember. That's what
I'm thinking. Football-wise, I would know. I would know.
But let me say no at Real Madrid and Barca. I don't know the story. Does anybody know the story?
What tweet delete? I mean, that was a monumental tweet that I saw.
Oh my gosh! No,
I didn't want to get started on that. I don't know what angle to take that.
Very careful what we say here. That has just what happened there.
Up is up and down is down.
So what's the story, lads? Because I'm not on top of it.
So what was it? Casillas on a Saturday, a random Saturday or Friday, he just comes out and tweets.
Got wrapped in Stratford. That's interesting. He's got
the one that got nutted. Brother,
like the one that got done at Wembley. The one that got done at Wembley.
It was like 4 kids.
No, I didn't see it.
Bro, listen, there's like 4 kids and one uncle. Uncle just dealing with them one after the other. It's like WWE punches. and then he brings one of the kids to the side and he just nuts him. It was like a two-son freaking Joe Jordan. I couldn't believe it.
But so Casillas tweets out like, all right, I'm just gonna come out like I'm gay. And everyone was like, what? Like, what? What's going on here? Is he hacked? Is he not hacked?
It's the fact it says Feliz Domingo. Hashtag Feliz Domingo.
And then obviously Piero joins in and he says, "Now you can tell my story, brother." And so everyone was like, "What's going on? What's fine?" And then people started to believe it. 3 hours later, he deletes the tweet and says, nah, guys, it was a hack situation. I didn't mean it. I apologize. I apologize to the LGBT community. And obviously Pure, part of it as well, has his tweet.
So Ben Mitchell settings. That's hype.
So quite literally, he has the whole LGBT community on his case right now. No.
What?
Damn.
I guess so. He confirmed it's not a that thing.
Yeah, he said it was not a that thing.
Yeah.
with his 4 youths and his wife.
I don't know if that's the case. He's certainly not the guy.
Yeah. Let me wrap this one up then.
That's all the Fame worthy. What?
Man, just put it out there for bants, you know.
Bants.
He put it on the lash.
Knowing his profile, his reputation, what he would have done for the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Hall of Fame worthy?
Nah, it's mad. It's Hall of Fame worthy.
Why? Why is it Hall of Fame worthy? Because he was joking.
No, because there would have been
you've got a whole part of a community that spans the whole world on your case for your mess up. Just for bants? Yeah, nah. It's stinky.
I don't know. I don't know about Hall of Fame. I don't know about Hall of Fame though. Hall of Fame is a disgusting act. Like we're talking about, this is up there.
I think this is up there.
It's up there still. I think this is up there.
Yo, you man are full on alphabet, yeah. I hear that.
No, bro, bear in mind, like that would have empowered how many people to feel bold and confident in themselves. And it probably would have.
You have to think about this. A man that's been married, bare kids, and been hiding this for like all this time, just to do it as a joke.
Okay, maybe because I guess because I'm not that way. I guess I don't understand it to the max. So obviously, somebody who is of that ilk will find that more. Would find this a bit. Yeah, the way you lot are explaining it, it's making me think. Okay, take a look at their side of this. I said he was crazy and out of pocket. That's my favorite line. I say that out of pocket for that. Tenzin says, "Big up Baraka, by the way." Tenzin says, "Don't we all make gay jokes like this? I don't think nothing wrong with that." Oh,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
A gay joke has not been said for a long time now because of how extreme the heat is extreme now.
And I'm being so sorry as well. He's one of the greatest goalkeepers to ever play the game. Like surely he should understand his stature, his name, and the weight such a thing would hold. That's outrageous. That's outrageous.
Let's see. Fantastic stream. Had my concerns whether Peter could hold it down, but he's done a great job. Big up 100. My guy, big up aside. Listen, I pronounce your name right, okay? And I get it spot on from early doors. Yeah, Assad. What's this, blood? Walter Oscar in Milan, living La Vida Loca. SW6 says, "Oh, that wasn't even supposed to be an intended joke." SW6 says, "No, that is an outrageous act. Trust when you deep it, people were actually championing them. Fair dues. No, that's fair enough." He's going to go into the Hall of Fame. By the way, heads up, next Sunday, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man United all kick off at 2 p.m. Farcical behavior. Word? Because I know we're at Leeds at 2 o'clock.
Oh, that's a Super Sunday, at least.
Well, it depends what's on TV. If you want to know what's on TV? Because Man United are at home to Newcastle, right? Leeds are at home to Arsenal, but the game on TV is Aston Villa at home to Chelsea. Holy smokes!
That's such a yawn.
That's a yawn. Fire Fidat says, "Boss like Endo, isn't Casillas divorced?" Okay, maybe he is. Maybe he is divorced. Eesh, Tenzin. Messi, you gotta hold that. I remember a podcast years back when Peter said to Oscar, "You know them retrospectives, blood. Them retrospects. I gotta find them files and delete because you know them. On Twitter, yeah. I remember on Twitter when I used to go and just be like, I had to search blood. I had miscellaneous.
Yeah, cancel culture.
Oh, right, yeah.
Listen, just as a rule of thumb. If you ever make it, you ever fortunate enough to get that blue tick, just start a new Twitter.
Just create a
Because-
new account.
Start a new Twitter.
If you've had this
Start
Twitter
a
since
new
you
one.
were 14, 12, 17, yeah, at a certain time, certain things were funny that are not funny anymore. Listen, it's going to get flagged.
It's okay to make fun with each other as long as both the person are okay. Anyway, Liverpool is in the mud, so we need some laugh together. We need some laughter. Liverpool are in a thick dose of what we call mud. I didn't even realize they were in the bottom half of the league. I couldn't believe
Bro,
that.
it's not mud, it's quicksand.
Oh, you're
It's sinking without a trace.
You're behind Fulham and Bournemouth and Brighton. Holy smokes! This is what we're dealing with. But it has to be said.
I'm loving it.
That back to the point.
loving it.
Back to the point. Iker Casillas Fernandez, you're not that guy, and you are entering the Hall of Fame. Okay, people. With that, that's wrapped up this week's Top 4 podcast. Just before we go, I will say this: Friday night football, you got Brentford against Brighton. Don't know how to feel about that. 12 o'clock, 12:30 kickoff.
Something tells me a draw.
12:30 kickoff is Leicester against Palace. I mean, what games are not? Why are we not having good games on TV here? Leicester Palace? It might be all right, but still.
Everybody needs that 100 mil.
Everyone needs that 100 mil. Spurs Everton.
By the way,
Spurs
so-
Everton is the 5:30 kickoff. Go on, AD. Go on, AD.
I'm going Everton, you know.
No, I'm not saying prediction. I'm saying go on with your point. What was you going to say?
I was going to say, you saying like everyone gets 100 million, yeah? What did AFC Sunderland do with that money?
Did you see the players they bought? Have you seen their players?
Yeah, to be fair, half of it went on Rodwell's wages, didn't it? There we go then.
Mate, if you watch Sunderland until I die, Rodwell in League One was on 60 grand a week. There you go. There you go. And refused to leave the club.
Them ones, Pete, you just got to put them aside and say, look, mate, here's 5 mil. Leave us alone.
Leave us alone. Yeah.
You're fit, you're young, you'll find another club, please.
Look, the big game next weekend, right, is Liverpool Man City, 4:30 kickoff on Sky Sports. What's the prediction for that one as we wrap up?
I'm gonna be radical. Liverpool get a win. I'm gonna be so radical. Liverpool get a win.
Believe in your team, bruv.
Peter.
I don't even believe in my team.
Erling Braut Lesnar is coming to Anfield, and Suplex City will be rife.
Do you want to know something? Do you want to know a controversial thing? I actually genuinely think that's the sort of challenge Van Dijk needs at the moment. Personally,
Quite possibly.
I feel like he's. I don't know. I feel like he's just. There's a. Is it? I don't want to question the man's character. I'm not sure if it's arrogance or overconfidence. You know what I mean? Like I feel like things are happening that shouldn't be happening because his foot's off the gas. I feel like Haaland will fancy. Here's a fight. Here's a battle. This is my equal. I think we'll see an interesting battle, and I think Van Dijk will get the top. I think Van Dijk will get the upper hand of it.
Interesting take from AD there. Endo says 1-3 to Man City, and Tenzin says how many goals are Man City scoring? That's what I'm wondering. So nobody's giving Liverpool prayer bar AD. I'm gonna go with a draw. I think Liverpool will rock up on the day.
Yeah, I think a draw is probably done.
I think a 2-2 draw.
Yeah,
at Anfield. That sums up this week's Top 4 podcast. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe on the channel at Top 4 Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, iCloud, SoundCloud. What am I talking about?
iCloud,
iTunes as well, and iTunes, Apple Podcasts.
Hey,
wherever you get your podcast,
Pete is fully an uncle.
Wherever you get your podcasts platforms, and if you want the visual, it's YouTube at Top 4 Podcast. I've been your host this week, Peter, and I've been joined by Robin and AD, the top legends. David is still in Baghdad, so we'll catch him next week when he is back from his travels on Al Jazeera. AD might just be a top red. What does he mean by that?
Basic top red.
Okay, Twitter.
Top Reds. Yeah, no. Top Reds. You don't want to be. Even United, you don't want top Reds.
Call me what you like. Because on Monday, you're going to be calling me Mr. Money in the Bank when I catch it on Sunday night. No, listen, man. Yeah, I think.
Let's wrap.
Trust me, man. I believe.
You believe,
If
and
it
we'll
was at the if it was at the Etihad, I wouldn't give us a prayer. But at our home grounds,
fair dues. Fair dues, ladies and gentlemen. That is us. We will be back next week, 8 p.m. kickoff on the Top 4 podcast. No stoppage time next week. It'll be bang on at 8 o'clock. Until then, we'll see you out.
7:59, yeah.
Peace. 7:59.
Peace.